What if we could change the way good ideas are brought to life? What if we could bring together the people, resources, and skills needed to transform our society for the better? At EIT Manufacturing, we're here to make it happen. Our mission is to promote talent and entrepreneurship to accelerate sustainable innovation across Europe. And we want you to be a part of it. Each year, we invite organisations like yours to participate in our call for proposals. It's our way of empowering innovators, startups, scale-ups, businesses, research centres, RTOs and universities with ideas for a brighter manufacturing future. During our call, we look for 12-month proposals to be implemented by consortia that will make European manufacturing more sustainable, resilient and competitive. If your project is selected, we'll provide funding and support bringing results to market. The call is divided into 3 areas: innovation, education, and the Regional Innovation Scheme. Each area covers topics like artificial intelligence, resilient and human-centric solutions, digital innovation, inclusiveness, sustainability, and upskilling and reskilling. The best part is that anyone can submit an idea, and if you need help refining your concept or finding the right partners, you can participate in our info sessions, networking events, and workshops. Through our MatchMaking Event and innovation community platform, Agora, you can be sure to find the ideal team for your proposal. The matchmaking event officially opens the submission period. Once the call closes, we verify that they meet all the administrative requirements, deadlines, forms, attachments, and adherence to the rules. Proposals are then evaluated by a panel of external experts according to the criteria outlined in the guidelines. Shortlisted proposals will be included in the strategic assessment done by EIT Manufacturing. Remember, before you hit the submit button, double-check the application criteria. Your proposal should align with our strategic goals, meet KPIs, and may require a technology readiness level and financial strategy. So, do you have an idea for a brighter manufacturing future? Join our call for proposals. For more information on this year's themes, how to apply, and call guidelines, visit eitmanufacturing.eu.
Good morning and welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you once more for another EIT Manufacturing matchmaking event. The format might be digital, but it will not stop us from making manufacturing innovation happen. And I see many of you joining us from all over Europe, and with over 700 registrations and hundreds of meetings booked that are taking place, I think we have 2 successful days ahead of us. My name is Theresa Neuhauser. I'm the communication manager of EIT Manufacturing East in Vienna, and I have the honor and the pleasure to be your host for these 2 days. We have prepared a lot for you, and so let's take a look at this amazing program that's awaiting you. The agenda for this morning was tailored to lead you through the call for proposals and to answer all your questions, doubts, and comments through presentations, speeches, and a series of meetings. Our CEO, Caroline Viarouche, and our COO, Dimitris Mavrikios, will be the next ones to join me on stage for their welcome addresses. And after that, we will have the representatives from the areas education, innovation, and the Regional Innovation Scheme on stage. They will share important information about the call for proposals. Agora, our open innovation community platform, is at the heart of our call for proposals. That's why Nina Nessman will be with us and guide you how to get the best out of it. The afternoon will be reserved for 3 out of 5 thematic sessions, and our experts will guide you through the topics of renewable energy, industrial metaverse, and circular economy. And as the thematic sessions have fed into the topics of this year's call, please make sure to hop into at least one of those sessions to get key insights for your ideas. You can immerse the full afternoon afterwards in one-on-one meetings with potential partners of your interest and establish relevant connections. Therefore, please just check the participant list on our event platform and find people that might be interesting for you. Let's take a deeper dive into our tech radar. That's EIT Manufacturing's new digital tool designed to help you to identify emerging innovation hotspots and map out the latest manufacturing technologies. You can use it to explore the EIT manufacturing projects and get an overview of supported companies and identify additional business opportunities. The Tech Radar is constantly updated to provide you with an overview of the high TRL technologies that have the greatest potential to disrupt and overall impact manufacturing. Book a meeting with the team behind the radar and discover more. Aristides Katsiorchis, as the Tech Radar lead, is surely listening right now and will be happy to support you if you have any questions about the Tech Radar. However, before we pass the floor to Caroline and Dimitris, I would like to share with you some housekeeping rules. If you have a question or a comment, please share them in the chat panel on your right-hand side of your screen. We will either take the questions live for our speakers to answer, or my colleagues will respond directly in the chat to you. If any questions remain unanswered, we will collect them after the event and publish them in our Q&A section of the call webpage. To book meetings, check the participant list in the main menu of the event platform. You can search and filter and select the person that you would like to meet and book a meeting. Ideally, try to chat with the person up front to find a suitable time slot. Please make sure, in order to use that function, that you have activated at least one matchmaking session in your profile, as otherwise you will not be able to book any meetings and people will not be able to request meetings with you. If you need any help in booking the meetings, you might also contact the organizing team on the homepage. Now, connecting live from Paris and Athens, let's welcome on our virtual stage Caroline Viarouche, CEO, and Dimitris Mavrikios, the COO of EIT Manufacturing. Caroline, Dimitris, it's a pleasure to have you with me.
Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning to all. Welcome.
Let's start with an easy question for both of you, just to break the ice. You know, it's early. What are your expectations for this matchmaking event? Maybe you can share a few words with the audience.
Yeah, I can start. And first of all, I'd like to say that I am actually really excited. Really excited because, for you to know, the registration for this specific matchmaking event is the biggest registration we have had in EIT manufacturing so far. We had more than 700 registrations for this event and for these 2 days. And that's really exciting because it really showed the interest manufacturing innovation topic brings and the acknowledgement of the need by the ecosystem to collaborate together and really make this green and digital transformation happen. Simple answer, my expectations are there. Take the best out of it. Really interact with people, discuss, exchange, connect, and build this relationship. In this event, it's really a catalyst of meaningful and valuable contact. So take the best out of it and have fun.
Thank you very much. Dimitris.
I could only strengthen the impression from Caroline. We have been really very proud to learn and realize how attractive this call is going to be based on the active participation levels in this event. So thank you very much for that. And we feel also the responsibility to meet your also expectations. So our team has done a wonderful job. And I would like to say in advance a big thanks also for that, to prepare that. And we are very confident that it will be a very successful event. Just to also share what Caroline said before, I think that my personal expectation is that it will certainly catalyze the formation of a high number of competent consortia and excellent proposals. So take this opportunity, exploit as much as possible what our team is offering in terms of possibilities for networking. Make your connections, brainstorm, and I'm sure that at the end you will surprise us with your innovative project ideas.
Thank you very much, both. I have another question for you, Caroline, and just looking at the ever-evolving landscape in the manufacturing sector that we see, how would you say that this year's call for proposals aligns with EIT Manufacturing's strategic objectives, and how do the thematic working groups feed into the selected topics of the call?
Yes, thank you, Teresa. And I'm going to share a couple of slides here to help you and guide you through this approach. All right. First of all, I like to always start with reminding a bit everyone on the challenges the manufacturing industry is facing today. And there are 5 main challenges we identified in the revision of the strategic agenda. The first one being the skill gaps. We all know that we have an aging population. At the same time, there is a shift in technology, which is going at a very fast pace. This is really creating a talent acquisition risk. We really struggle to find the right competences today, and it's going to be even worse tomorrow if we don't address it. The lack of diversity as well. Here is not just about feeling good in the shoes, thinking that we are good on a diversity perspective. It's because working in innovation, we know that diversity is a key lever to stimulate agility and innovation in teams. And here the manufacturing space, we have to say, is, if we look at the women representation as one spectrum of diversity, one of the lowest sectors in that space, with only 30% women. So that's the key challenges we're also looking at addressing. The linear production model, and here it's very much around really the use of non-reusable and virgin resources, non-recyclable material. And this linear model is really something which we need to continue to address and accelerate looking at this specific problem. The high green gas emission gas. Here we know that obviously with the Green Deal, Net Zero Act, we also have some reinforcement on the reporting regarding the sustainability aspect, but this is not enough, and this is we need to continue in a group all together to look at it and to see how we can accelerate this shift. And last but not least, really the insufficient resilience. And here, this is really something which we need as the European continent. We are so much dependent on this raw material and component. And here it does put a supply chain really in pain. And the look at the resilience aspect, the importance of making sure we look at everything from a value proposition perspective and accelerate the look on this specific component and activity, which will make us more sovereign and more resilient on the long run. So these are the 5 challenges we're looking at. And in EIT manufacturing, we are supporting ecosystem to build this future-proof industry. Our mission is clear. We are here really to connect manufacturing players by promoting talent and entrepreneurship to accelerate sustainable innovation in Europe. And we look at it with 3 main strategic objectives, which are really address the dimension of human centricity, environmental sustainability, and resilience. These 3 strategic objectives, if we look at them, they are really intrinsically interdependent and really mutually enhancing each other. It's very much similar as the knowledge triangle. We need to look at the educational aspect, the innovation, and the business creation angle. When we look at what we offer here into stimulating this innovation and really support this unique ecosystem, we're looking at really 4 areas. We're broadening network and collaboration. Well, that's what we are doing here today. And we have different activities as well to continue and accelerate the help into building this collaboration in Europe. We're also boosting viable innovation. And here that will be, for example, under the funding of the innovation project for the call for proposal, a key activity we're looking at, but it's not only the only things we do in that space. We're also expanding skills and competences. And here we really customize professional trainings and build some digital learning platform with a hybrid delivery and also face-to-face delivery of training to fill the skill gaps challenge we identified at the beginning. And then the accelerating the sustainable growth. Here, again, we have quite a lot of activities looking at the innovation funding catalyst, but also the access to finance for multiple startups we're looking at. Talking about this call for proposal and what we will be discussing in the next 2 days, we focused on 5 key themes impacting our industry. And through the strategic revision, we had a consultation with core partners, and we launched end of last year what we call the thematic working group. And this thematic working group really helped to feed into this call for proposal with the output and the thinking they had. And you can see the list here of these 5 thematic working groups. So AI and data, really focusing on enhancing competitiveness thanks to smart automation and virtualization. We also look at the industrial metaverse, and here to accelerate the setup of production line and training through the industrial metaverse. Circular economy, really looking at unlocking this new business model to address this resource scarcity. The net zero industry is also an area where we had a thematic working group that will present their findings again today and tomorrow, achieving this objective we have by 2030 in Europe to be carbon neutral. And then the renewable energy as well, looking at the local grid integration to limit fluctuation in energy price and stay competitive. So we're very much looking forward to introduce you these 5 teams in the next 2 days, so you get to learn more about it, and also hopefully it will help you think of different proposals and ideas to address it.
Thank you very much, Caroline. Dimitris, let's turn to you. Can you maybe share some highlights of the call for proposals with our audience, maybe in terms of timeline, budget, or any other criteria? Are there any changes that are worth mentioning since the last call in September 2023?
Thanks, Francesca. Teresa, I will also use some slides for that. So indeed, our call for proposals 2025 is covering a broad area of industry relevant and prioritized topics, as Caroline already indicated in her presentation. We are addressing all 3 main areas: innovation, education, regional and innovation scheme, where we are inviting you to submit your proposals, with a total funding for all 3 areas reaching the level of 15 million euros. So it's indeed a very big call that we are launching this year. Taking a look into the timeline, this year we will allow a little bit more time for you to prepare your proposal, so the duration of the call is a little bit longer than 2 months. Today is the official opening of the call. We will be preparing and offering you a couple of webinars to support the preparation of your proposals. One of them will be related with the online preparation and submission, so we'll give you an insight into the submission system. And the second session that we will be preparing is a general session to get your questions and provide answers and clarifications on any relevant topics related to the call for proposals. The call will be closing on the 8th of July, and follow this will be followed by the standard eligibility and admissibility check that we will be doing, and then the thorough evaluation of your proposals, engaging our independent subject matter experts. And we expect, with the fulfillment of this process, to communicate to you the results and the outcomes of the call by the 18th of October. The successful proposals are expected to start on the 1st of January 2025. Let me come back also to the question of Teresa. What is new? Some new features that we introduce in this call. So the partners in the different consortia that will apply in the call will be required to sign a simple declaration of honor. What will be there? It's mainly to confirm full awareness about the scope and the objectives of the project, the proposal that you are participating, but also of the membership conditions, terms and conditions in EIT manufacturing, and also a confirmation that you do not fall into the exclusion conditions for funding under Horizon Europe. What we need to ensure is that the smooth also registration of all new organizations that will be interested to participate, and for that we set a limit for the time that new registrations can come into our system to avoid any last minute disturbance in our communications and approvals. And last but not least, which I think it's already a big innovation from our side, is that this year we will be using a new submission tool. We are replacing our Plaza platform with NetSuite, and for that we will be offering you several occasions to learn the tool and get acquainted with the tool, also together with some supporting documentation that we are preparing. So tomorrow, as a first opportunity, my colleagues will give you a short presentation on to give you a first insight into the new submission system. And as said before, on the 7th of May, we will have a dedicated session to go through a detailed live demo, but also go through any kind of questions and answers that you might have up to that point of time concerning the use of our new system. So that's all from my side. Thanks, Teresa, and I'm really looking forward to this exciting event these 2 days.
Thank you very much, Dimitris, and also a big thank you again to Caroline for giving us a first introduction and overview of our call for proposals. Mark your calendars, as Dimitris just said, for tomorrow, that you can learn how to use the new tool for submissions. But of course, we would also like to get some more details onto the 3 calls that we are having this year. And I would like to welcome with me on stage the representatives from Innovation, Education, and the Regional Innovation Scheme for more details on the 3 specific calls. A warm welcome to Xavier, Isabel, and Veronica. We have 3 different calls: education, innovation, and the Regional Innovation Scheme, but all with one goal: to accelerate sustainable innovation in Europe in manufacturing. And before we start with our first presentation, please remember to put any questions you might have in the chat panel on your right-hand side of the screen. And now, to kick things off, let's get our speakers warmed up. I would start with a question that goes to all of you. The Innovation, Education, and Regional Innovation Scheme play a vital role in our yearly EIT manufacturing call for proposals. What would you say is the red thread among all those areas? Can you share a few sentences with the audience up front before we go into the deep dive?
Sure. Good morning, Teresa. Isabel speaking here. So I think the common thread is that we want to have a call attracting maximum number of participants, because we believe that we are touching some very important themes, be it through education, innovation, and risk. And as Caroline said earlier, there are some challenges which all manufacturers and stakeholders in the manufacturing industry in Europe face. And we want to make sure that through these calls that we're launching now, we are addressing these issues and potentially bring the best solutions possible to the European manufacturing industry.
Thank you. Xavier, maybe you can go next.
Yes, thank you very much, Teresa. I would like to say that these 3 pillars are, of course, very much intertwined, because if you think of the main goal, which is to support innovators in bringing innovative solutions on the market in Europe, of course, we have that pan-European dimension that is extremely important, which means that whatever we're doing, we're trying to support an innovator in a country to find an end user in another country and make sure that we have a pan-European bridge to everything that we're doing. And this is, of course, a very clear way also to support innovators from the risk countries, for example, to access potential markets outside of their region. So the risk dimension is very much involved in everything we're doing. But also, as soon as we are putting a new technology on the market, we cannot avoid thinking about the skills that are needed to also operate that technology. So the education dimension is also always integrated in everything we're doing, because of course we need to prepare the workforce and make sure that if the technology is available, the operators are also there and able to use it.
Thank you. Veronica, any words from your side?
Well, I think my colleagues already gave a perfect summary, but yeah, I think it is tricky to find this balance between all actors in the academia, the employees, the manufacturing companies, the SMEs, the startups, to bring these innovative ideas and technologies to the market. So I hope that through this call for proposal, we are properly addressing this challenge and somehow boosting for them to work together. And yeah, I hope we will see nice results from this one. And let's see if we address that challenge that we are facing in this sector.
Thank you very much to all three of you. We're going to hear some more details from each of you later on. And to dive a little deeper into the first area, I would like to ask Isabel Menes to stay with me on stage. She's representing education. And Isabel, we all agree that education and skilling the workforce of tomorrow is pivotal for manufacturing. And having this in mind, how would you summarize the education call this year? Can you share something with the audience?
Sure. As you will see, we have two areas, two calls. The main call is focusing on key topics on sustainable manufacturing and digital innovation. And then we also have, so this is to make sure that we have excellent content to develop upskilling and reskilling solutions and packages for the manufacturing industry. And then we have the master and doctoral school innovation and entrepreneurship call. And this is also important because we believe that through our schools, we are also developing the talent of tomorrow. And this is really key for the European industry, given the importance of manufacturing.
Okay. Do you have any slides you want to share with us, Isabel?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So
our audience can also see while you guide them through the education call.
Can you see my screen? Good. So let me go. Thank you. Getting to the next slide. So as I just said, we have the main education call is about upskilling and reskilling the current European manufacturing workforce to enable a more sustainable and digital manufacturing. So two really important areas. Sorry, can you stick to the previous slide? Sustainable manufacturing for the future and digital innovation in manufacturing. But then we also have the master and doctoral school innovation and entrepreneurship program. And this is about fostering entrepreneurial and innovation competencies among EIT manufacturing master and PhD students and manufacturing professionals. As we open the summer, winter and spring schools to professionals beyond also our students. So we have a call for the summer school 2025 and a call for the doctoral school 2025 innovation program. So for the main call, let's start with it. So two call topics, as I said. The project duration is 12 months. And the activities will result in complete learning programs. We'll come back to these learning programs. The funding rate is a maximum EIT manufacturing funding of 300,000 euros. And we are looking for innovative teaching and learning methodologies with a strong link with our EIT manufacturing upskilling and reskilling quality system and competency model. All this, of course, being EIT labeled. For the consortia, we are looking for a consortia with at least one business owner and an instructional designer. So the topics, as I said, are twofold. First, the sustainable manufacturing for the future, and then digital innovation in manufacturing. So sustainable manufacturing for the future means what? It basically comes down to empowering European manufacturing for global sustainability through skill development to enhance environmental stewardship, competitiveness, and alignment with the European Green Deal. So the focus areas for this topic are renewable energy integration, circular economy implementation, and net zero strategies. For the digital innovation in manufacturing, the idea here is to equip manufacturing workforce with digital skills and competencies to drive innovation and foster Europe's global manufacturing leadership. So here the two focus areas are industrial metaverse implementation and AI and data analytics in manufacturing. As you can see, these are pretty well aligned with the topics that Caroline talked about a bit earlier. The learning programs are aiming at crafting and delivering dynamic lifelong learning experiences. For that, we want to target the manufacturing workforce from shop floor workforce to engineers and technicians. So a broad audience. We want to have some modular learning programs which can be integrated in blended format teaching and learning with some methodologies which are based on topic and target group, so that we have a nice ability for the different audiences to learn through these programs. And of course, we want also the content to be aligned with EIT manufacturing non-degree label program. The innovation and entrepreneurship programs call. The summer school 2025 for EIT manufacturing master school. The idea is to equip learners with innovation and entrepreneurial skills and capabilities in the context of EIT manufacturing master school program. So the target is for not only the Master of Science students, but also professionals, as mentioned earlier. The activity duration is 1 year, taking into account the fact that the summer school duration is a minimum of 16 days, thereof 10 days in presence. The consortia shall consist of 5 to 10 entities, either universities or research institutes or manufacturing companies, with minimum 1 entity from EIT Manufacturing Master School and minimum 1 entity from risk countries. And the topic description should be both manufacturing focus with at least 2 EIT manufacturing strategic initiatives for green and competitive manufacturing, sustainability and digitalization, but also an innovation and entrepreneurship focus with IPR, ethics, and startup creation. For the doctoral school 2025 innovation program, the objective is to equip learners with innovation and entrepreneurial skills and capabilities in the context of EIT Manufacturing Doctoral School annual program. So the target here is, of course, our doctoral students, but also, again, professionals, because the program will be open to professionals. The activity duration is 1 year. The consortium shall consist of 3 to 8 entities. Here again, either universities, RTOs, or manufacturing companies, with minimum 1 entity from EIT Manufacturing Doctoral School and minimum 1 entity from risk countries. in terms of topics, here again, manufacturing focus with 2 innovation activities on a minimum of 2 of the EIT manufacturing strategic initiatives for green and competitive manufacturing. And then innovation modules focusing on the delivery of spring school, summer school, winter school, innovation online short courses, and industrial and innovation challenges and mentorship. And that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Isabel, for giving us some highlights on the education call. And now let's welcome Xavier Bayat, who is the Director of Inno2Market and represents the innovation call of EIT Manufacturing this year. And Xavier, can you share with us some key aspects of this year's innovation call that you think are particularly important or noteworthy for our audience today?
Sure, Teresa. Let me share also my screen so I can guide everyone through what is going to be the innovation call this year. I don't know if you can see my screen. All right, perfect. So thank you very much. So in a nutshell, let me introduce you the innovation call for proposal for 2025. So our goal is like every year so far. What we want to do is to support innovators to do the last mile of their development towards commercialization, which means that we're supporting them both for technology development, but also for building commercialization plan for their innovations. And we have 2 levels of goals, short-term goals first, which is to bring the innovation to the market. And this is the infamous KPI that many of you already know. And then a medium-term goal, which is linked to our strategic objectives. So we want to put people at the center of manufacturing, or accelerate green manufacturing, or foster sovereignty and competitiveness. And Caroline has been presenting those goals in her introduction. If we go to the details of the call for proposal and a few highlights, like in education, we have 2 categories of calls, so 2 call topics. Now we'll go back to that right after. We have projects that will also have a duration of 12 months, so during the whole year of 2025. The total funding available for the call is 11 million euros. So this covers both topics. And we are using the usual funding rates, so 70%, which means that any proposal must cover at least 30% of their budget with own funding, and EIT funding can only be used up to 70%. We have 2 different thresholds for the maximum funding available depending on the calls. It's 700,000 euros for topic 1, 1 million euro for topic 2. We are supporting consortia that are made at least with 3 different entities. We need to have 1 business owner, which will be in charge of the commercialization of the solution after the end of the project, and 2 end users. So we need 2 different independent organizations that will commit to test the solution in their industrial environment, and that could be ideally first customers for the solution. The technology readiness level is expected to be 7 at the start of the activity, so in January 2025. And we are expecting those solutions to reach TRL 8 or higher by the end of the year of funding. There is 1 mandatory KPI to reach. It's called innovation introduced to the market with 10,000 euros of revenues documented. So we need an invoice to prove that this KPI has been achieved. And finally, all proposals need to commit to our financial sustainability scheme. And there is a service agreement to be signed covering services in exchange for fixed payment and revenue share. And there will be a dedicated session tomorrow to go deeper on that topic. If we go to the topics, so as I said, 2 different kinds of topics. The first topic is called Innovation Solutions for Industrial Challenges. So here we are addressing directly 5 key challenges that have been brought by the industry. So we're directly answering the needs of industry. And these topics, these challenges have been identified together with our industry partners along the 5 thematic working groups that Caroline presented in the beginning. So in that case, if you select topic 1, you have to address one of the 5 challenges that are listed below. First challenge is integration of complex systems using digital solution. The second topic is about energy cost management, and here we're talking about adapting production to availability of renewable energies in particular. Third topic, implementing circularity in manufacturing, where we have here a broad range of circular solutions that could be supported. Fourth topic, data-driven product development. So here the title speaks for itself. And then the final one, a decision-making support for complex machinery and value chain. So here again, also using digital solution and in particular AI to support this challenge. If we go to the second topic, we're not directly addressing industrial challenges, but what we want is to support more disruptive and more ambitious solutions that will be addressing the medium-term challenges that we have, so the strategic objectives. And in particular, we want to focus on resilience and resource availability on one side and on human centricity on the other side. There will be a lower budget allocated to that topic, but we have a higher funding threshold limit, which is 1 million. And so we're really looking here for a bit more ambitious solutions than the one that we're looking on the first topic, which will be very focused on solving pressing needs. One of the main changes and highlights of the application in the innovation call is the business plan. So we have been changing part of the application. There used to be different sections with different questions on the impact section, basically on the business plan, that are now transformed into an attachment. So this business plan is a document that you would need to attach to the application, and it's a living document, meaning that once this has been submitted, it's going to be the document that will be updated along the activity. So it used to be commercialization plan in former calls. So now it's called business plan, and it will be used all along the life of the activity. And it will be used by the external experts to assess a number of criteria in the impact section. So this business plan is made of 3 different parts. The first part is on market opportunities. So here we're really talking about market analysis and competitive analysis. The second part will be focused more on the go-to-market strategies. And the third part is focused on business owner, so a track record of business owner, and on the commercialization plan, so the projections of the revenues and so on. Last but not least, we have an updated evaluation process that contains 3 main parts. So the first part is about admissibility and eligibility check. So this will be performed before any evaluation. Then we go to external expert evaluation. So each proposal will be evaluated by 3 external experts that will give up to 80 points to the proposal according to 5 main criteria and sub-criteria. You can find all the information in the section 5.3 of the guidelines, but we also have a supporting document that is focusing on which evidence needs to be provided in some cases. And then the last part of the evaluation, which will be strategic assessment, and this will be done by several EIT manufacturing members of several directors. Sorry. And here we're looking at 2 more criteria, which are called portfolio fit and ecosystem fit. And we introduced for the first time a hearing. So a number of proposals that will be highly evaluated by experts will be invited to a hearing where we would also support that will also be organized by innovation EIT manufacturing directors, and where we will go more in detail on a few topics that might be raised by external evaluator, and we'll be able to go a bit deeper in the proposals. And this in total will bring 20 more points for a total of up to 100 points. I will stop here for my presentation. If you have any questions, of course, the chat is here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Xavier. And last but not least, we have Veronica Rodriguez Garcia as representative of the Regional Innovation Scheme. The Regional Innovation Scheme, or for short, RIS, with its call for proposals, focuses on both innovation and education in the EIT RIS eligible countries. Veronica, could you highlight some of the key features and aspects of the RIS call for our audience?
Of course, Teresa, thank you so much. I will also take the opportunity to share some slides about this opportunity. Do you see it properly? Full screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So indeed, well, a bit of a context for all of you who are new around. The Regional Innovation Scheme is an initiative which is coming to support those countries that has been scored as modest or moderate innovators in Europe by the European Scoreboard. So we are having a further opportunity, an extra opportunity for these countries, which are mostly located in the southern and eastern part of Europe. And we are launching this RIS call for proposal with the aim of engaging more stakeholders from these regions and individuals in EIT manufacturing activities, and also to promote and boost this innovation capacity in these regions. As Teresa was mentioning, we are having two topics. One is RIS innovation and the other one is RIS education. These two are pretty much aligned with my colleagues' call for proposals. And I will center this little speech in the main difference that you might find in these two topics in comparison to the other two call for proposal. And a clarification, an important note that I would like to give it here is that also non-RIS countries are also eligible to apply and be part of the consortium of this call for proposal, as far as they are fulfilling the minimum eligibility requirements in terms of consortium. And the concept of the proposal is focused on boosting the innovation capacity of these regions. Being said that, I will let you know which are the topics that we are covering in the RIS innovation topic. So the subtopics is, first of all, advanced materials and manufacturing processes at EIT RIS. Well, as you know, these technologies are key enabled technologies to accelerate the twin digital and green transition of the manufacturing industry, and especially good opportunity for EIT RIS countries to ensure achieving this strategic goal of the EU resilience and open strategic autonomy. Then the second subtopic is artificial at EIT RIS. As you know, this is an emerging field, and even in some cases, especially for EIT RIS countries, it's a greenfield opportunity. So we are focusing on this topic to enhance the innovation capacity of the RIS countries, and hoping that developing new and adopting new technologies related to AI can give them the opportunity to counterpart with the other pan-European stakeholders. And finally, we have a subtopic dedicated to inclusiveness at EIT RIS. This is not only an ethical issue, but this is also a key concept to trigger tangible benefits for the business performance and competitiveness of the manufacturing industry. So here we are looking for innovation projects, technological solutions that are fostering the inclusivity in the manufacturing sector in EIT RIS countries. Particularly about the requirements, as I was saying, we are mostly following a similar concept than my colleagues in the call for proposals. So the projects are 12 months, and a specificity that we have in the consortium of this RIS innovation topic is that we are having the business owner and the manufacturing end user roles. We are asking them to be covered by entities located in EIT RIS countries. Similarly, in terms of TRLs, and we are having 450K of funding expected budget per activity in this topic. We are also asking for financial sustainability, and well, you will be able to see further details about this in the call guidelines that we have published recently in the website. Then our second topic is risk education, and particularly we are focusing on upskilling and reskilling the manufacturing workforce in EAT risk countries. So here we are looking for proposals which are providing the EAT regions with the tools, knowledge, skills necessary to play a key role in the transitions towards an innovative, digital, green, inclusive manufacturing industry that will play a key role in Europe. We are giving some examples here, but also for you to keep in mind, the proposals should meet the requirements deployed in the learning programs requirements, as shared by my colleague Isabel, and these trainings should also cover some innovation and entrepreneurship competencies. This is in a glance, and again about specific requirements. 12 months project duration, expected budget per activity 200K, and here the business owner and manufacturing company end roles, we are looking for them to be covered by entities located in EAT risk eligible countries. And that could be it in a few minutes. If you have any doubt, please feel free to reach out to us in the RIS inbox or me personally. We will be happy to answer your questions also today during the event in the chat.
Thank you very much, Veronica, and thank you also to Xavier and Isabel. And please stay with me a little more. We have some questions for you as well. Just up front, because I saw it in the chat popping up, yes, the sessions will be recorded, and yes, they will be made available. And we will also, of course, share the presentations with you on the dedicated web pages after the event. Veronica, I would like to start with a question to you up front. You mentioned the inclusiveness topic. Can you explain that maybe in a little more detail, what is meant with inclusiveness?
Sure. So, well, as some of you might be aware, we have run this year we started in 2023, and it is going on right now, a mini call. So this is for a mini innovation projects called Inclusiveness at EAT Risk. We are seeing really interesting solutions in this mini call. So we wanted to scale it up to this big call for proposal, looking for bigger innovation projects and to bring this, to ensure bringing as much as possible innovations of this kind or to the market. So basically, we are looking here, we are open to any kind of inclusivity concept that you might be having in mind, any technical solution that is helping the manufacturing workshops, the factories to be more inclusive for people with disabilities, any kind of technological or digital solution that you think it might trigger diversity in terms of the workforce. So it is quite open in terms of which kind of technological solutions can be brought, as far as they can be commercially marketable, and as far as they are fostering the inclusiveness, which is one of our main focus, fully aligned with our strategic objectives at EAT Manufacturing. I hope this clarified a bit.
Thank you very much. Xavier, next question goes to you. You mentioned the topics. We have 2 topics in the innovation call, as well as those sub areas. Is it possible for a consortia or for a partner to apply to more than one topic?
Yes, thank you, Teresa. Of course, we don't have any rules into the number of topics or proposals that can be addressed. But what is important is really to think about the impact of the solution and the potential for scalability and commercial revenues. So if you are a technology provider or a business owner and you have a technology, or you have several technologies that can have very different applications that would fit 2 different challenges, or topic 1 and topic 2, then of course you can form 2 different consortia that would tackle these two approaches. But you have to think really of what is the added value of the solution in both cases, and if you really fits the requirements of the call. If you're an end user and that you're interested in two different technological approaches because you have needs on two different levels, you can also be part of two different consortia, of course, with very clear industrial use cases that are really fitting the topic. So again, no rules on the number of application of consortia, but it's really very much about the impact and making sure that in each proposal you have the best partners you could expect to address the particular challenge or topic.
Thank you very much, Xavier. One more question to Isabel. So for example, if a consortium is thinking about developing a training, for example, for shop floor workers, can they do that as a fully in-person presence training, or do they also need to include digital learning contents? Now you're muted. Please. Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. It really depends on the target audience and what are the best learning methodologies to be addressed. So as you gave the example of shop floor workers, if it is deemed that the best methodology for them to learn the particular topic that is developed is through live training and in-person training, then yes, it is possible. But it has to be duly explained and developed in the proposal so that there is a match between the methodology and what is expected and what are the constraints for each target audience.
Thank you so much. And I've seen that we have got a question from the chat that's about the evaluation of the innovation call for proposals. So Xavier, I'm asking you to take this one. For the hearing, are mentioned proposals which budget is not above 200% are invited. Can you please explain this?
Yes, of course. So after the expert evaluation, we will have first ranking of proposals. And what we're looking for the hearing is we are looking at the cumulated budget that is requested by the proposal in order of that first ranking. And we will stop when the cumulated funding for all those proposals has reached 200% of the total budget. So let's say that we have proposals that have a average budget of 500,000 euros. Then if all proposals had 500,000 euros as a budget, then we would go and select the first 22 proposals that corresponds to a cumulated budget of 11 million, and those 22 proposals would go to the second stage.
Thank you. I hope they clarified that question. If not, please write in the chat and we will get back to you once more. I have another very general topic on the Declaration of Honors. Maybe Veronica, you could answer that one. So there is the necessity of submitting a Declaration of Honor. And the question is if the applying partners have to have a specific Declaration of Honor for each proposal they submit, if they have more than one proposal, of course, or is the content very general enough and they can have just one and use it for all the proposals to submit?
Well, indeed, the content is generic, so any one of you will be able to download a template from the website. You will have their call documents for every call topic or even call that you will be looking for. The 3 calls, in this case, risk education and innovation, it will be the same. It's a template. You will just need to fill in some few details, legal details, basically, and then you will need to upload this. The thing is, you will need to upload this for every, I would say, for every proposal that you are submitting, because the application form will ask you to upload the document. But the document, the content itself, it is generic for all the calls, and you have a template available in the website.
Okay, thank you so much. Another questions, the questions are just coming in the chat. I'm trying to answer them chronologically. Are technology providers eligible to join the consortium? And Isabel, Veronica, Xavier, any one of you could answer this one if you want.
I can take it, no problem. I mean, the answer is very simple. It's yes, of course, technology providers are welcome. In the case of innovation call, very often it can be that the technology provider will be the business owner if they own the technology that they want to commercialize. In some cases, they are the ones having the technology bricks and the IP that will be transferred to the business owner. In that case, they can join, and as long as we have a very clear understanding on how the IP will be transferred to the business owner. But yes. And if I may, because my explanation before I made a small mistake, I was mentioning 22 proposals. It's actually 44 according to my example. But yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Xavier. And please stay with me because I have another one for you. One question is, are there any requirements on the internationality of the consortium?
Yes, of course. So we have the traditional Horizon Europe rules, which means that consortia need to be made of entities that belong to several different European countries. In our case, we will request at least organization from countries that are belong to two different impact centers, so our former co-location centers. And as you will see, the guidelines will be also updated shortly with that new requirement, which is a bit lighter than what we used to have in the past.
Thank you so much. I have two more questions left before we need to go on to the next sessions. So this one goes to all three of you. In one of the calls, it's written that all entities of selected proposals need to be a part of the KIC EIT manufacturing community. Is this aspect valid for all the calls, and is it possible to apply without membership?
Maybe I can take this one.
Sure.
So it is possible to apply without membership, but if your project is selected, then you need to become an EIT manufacturing member, associate member. So very clear, and I think it applies to all calls.
Thank you so much. And last question for right now. If I have difficulties to build a consortium, what should I do? If matchmaking and one-on-one meetings won't lead to a consortium building in this particular case, what would be your advice to find partners?
I can take that one. First advice, of course, there's today and tomorrow matchmaking, but we also have, and you will see in the next session, the Agora platform where you can post ideas and look for partners and connect with all your peers that are connected on the platform. And we have quite a large community in there, so that will allow you to keep matchmaking for the next 2 months while the call is open. And then another option would be, of course, to get in touch with your local CLC and the team there, and have also connections with our team of innovation managers or education managers that can help you and get you also through a few other options.
Thank you so much, Isabel, Veronica, Xavier, for explaining the calls, for taking the time to answer some questions. And I know that there are some more questions in the chat. No worries, we will record them. We will answer them either directly in the chat or afterwards in the Q&A section of our call website. Thank you again, the three of you.
Thanks.
And now that we have, thank you. And now that we have a first overview of what's happening in the call for proposals, it's time to explore the role of our innovation platform, Agora, within the call for proposals sphere, and see what role it plays in the process and in the ideation of the consortiums. And now we welcome on stage Nina Nessman, who is the Senior Manager, Community and Platforms at EIT Manufacturing. Thank you so much for joining us, Nina.
Thanks, Teresa. Happy to be here.
Agora has currently more than 3,000 members, and it's constantly being improved and enhanced. And we heard that some new features have been put in place over the last month. Nina, what have you been cooking for this year's call for proposals? How does the process look like?
So let me share my screen and tell you all about it. Is it visible?
Yes, we can see it.
Great. So I hope most of you have heard about Agora, but for those who haven't, it is our social network and open innovation platform for the pan-European manufacturing community. And as Teresa mentioned, we have over 3,000 members already on the platform from over 1,400 organizations all across Europe. So definitely it's a place to continue your discussions. Already you can join events and participate in interesting discussions related to different themes in the manufacturing industry. But specifically for the call for proposals, it is also the place to stay updated, ideate, and matchmake also going forward for the next 2 months, as Xavier mentioned in the previous session. So I want to share with you 3 tools for you to know about for the call for proposals. Firstly, we have a call for proposals 2025 sphere. Spheres are basically groups, and Agora is built around these different spheres. So the call for proposals sphere is maybe familiar to many of you from previous years. We've been running it on Agora already for a couple of years. It's the central hub and interactive space for the full call for proposals process, and you will be able to get all the information there, ask questions, and also attend information events after this matchmaking event before the call closes. And new for this year is the dedicated ideation space for the call. So it's another sphere. You can join it through the call for proposals one, and that's where you can post ideas for everyone to see and to find consortium partners. And the final thing is matchmaking, new tools that we are unveiling just today. And it's also relevant for you as it's another autonomous way where you can find the right partners for your projects. I'll talk about all of these in a bit more detail. But for those who are new to Agora, this is the view you will have when you land on the Agora homepage. And the main thing just to note here is that to find spheres to join, including the call for proposal sphere, if you're not there yet, is through the sphere directory in the top. Once you have joined spheres, you will find them in the left sidebar, so easy access from anywhere where you are. And it's also worth noting that you can edit your notifications. So you can select, for example, to make sure that you get all the notifications from the call for proposals and ideation spheres so that you don't miss any updates. And of course, the Agora team is available to help. There's a need help button in the bottom right corner of every page. So if you have a general question, just click there and you'll send us a message and we'll get back to you. Then in terms of the sphere itself, how it looks like, the call for proposal sphere, the news feed is the main point where you can see all the key updates and events. There are tools as well in the top right corner. So you can have a look at the events calendar to see when we launch, when we invite you for informational webinars. You can find them there as well as in the newsfeed, and the file box where we will store relevant material for the call as well. And the sidebar on the right is key. That's where you can also access quickly information, including heading into the ideation sphere if you're not there yet. And the posting space on the top is where you can write your messages. I'll talk a little bit more about that soon. So now I wanted to share just how to use the ideation sphere, as that's new for this year for everyone. I'm happy to say that we already have 8 ideas there, so you can head over and start browsing the proposal ideas that have been submitted already. There are further instructions in the sphere, but to flag that there are 5 key elements you should add, or 4, let's say, and 5th is optional. It's good to include a name or title for the proposal or ideas so that people know generally what it's about and if it's relevant for them to stop and read the rest of the post. They should be fairly short, just to provide the basic information. And the next key thing to include is hashtags. So this is a key method to filter out and find the relevant ideas that are for you. So we have set up specific hashtags on the different call topics that were presented, the status of the proposal, and the type of partner sought. And these will be available also to easily click in the sidebar of the ideation sphere so that you can easily filter and look, for example, for projects that are looking for an end user, if you are the one that could offer, or your organization could offer that. The third thing to include is the proposal focus and aims. So briefly, what's the technological or learning focus for the proposal? What do you want to do? What is the purpose of the proposal? And finally, a section on the consortium and partner needs. If you already have partners, if you're looking for specific types of partners or outside specific countries, if you've already started working on a consortium. And if you want, you can also attach, for example, a slide for further information. And if you have your colleagues or also on Agora and in the ideation sphere, you can tag them so that people know who to contact about this specific idea. Then, in terms of how to browse and find ideas of interest, I've already mentioned the newsfeed is the main section of a sphere. So you can just scroll down and see what's already been posted. As mentioned, there are 8 ideas already. You can also search for specific keywords. There is a search bar below the posting area. So if you're really interested in a particular technology, type it there, click enter, and you can see which proposal ideas have mentioned that technology, for example. And then, as mentioned, we have the tags. So you will find the tag list on the sidebar as well. And if you click on that, it automatically filters the posts by those that have used the specific tag. So you can easily find, for example, everyone who has shared an idea related to a call topic in education, the first one on sustainable manufacturing for the future. So that's what I recommend you do to easily find, and why I emphasize that it's very important to include the tags for discoverability, especially as we start to get more ideas flowing. Then what do you do once you've found an idea that you like or you want to connect with? So you can favorite ideas by clicking on the star in the top right corner. You can then find your favorites either from the home page, there is in the menu bar favorite section, or from your profile picture, you can also find favorites. So it's easy to keep track of the ones that you want to follow up on. You can also like or comment on the favorite ideas. Then you can directly from the sphere, you can send a private message to the idea poster by starting to write your message, and then you can tag the person and select in a private rather than with members before you click on the share button, and that's it. You can start a discussion there. And as a nice extra feature, if you both happen to be online at the same time or agree to have a call at a particular time, you can create an instant private video meeting room from a comment. So if you've started discussing with someone, you can click on the video button as I've circled here in the blue on the bottom, and you will have a video conference link that's valid for 1 hour. If you are in the meeting, it will be open as long as you want to discuss, but that's another tool you can use. So that's an overview of how to use Agora for the call for proposals and ideation process.
Thank you so much, Nina. And our colleagues have already put in the link to the sphere directly in the chat, so you can click that link and directly join the call for proposal sphere on Agora. Nina, what else do you have in the Agora pipeline that might be new and interesting for our users?
So this is a topic I am very happy to announce today. But we are finally launching our long-awaited matchmaking tools that you might have heard some whispers about in the previous months. So this is really a way for you to autonomously connect with people and organizations that are relevant to you. So, for example, if you're looking for an expert in AI and circular economy, you'll be able to filter and search members specifically using those criteria. Or if you're looking for a B2B partnership in additive manufacturing, that's also possible. Or looking for partners in specific locations or different types of organizations to collaborate with. And that's the matchmaking that I want to talk to you about now. What does it mean in practice? So we have new member profile fields, and the key part is this new tag system that works across Agora, and it helps connect members based on sectoral, technological, and general manufacturing-related interests. So given that we are a manufacturing-focused community, this will help you really drill down on the specific topics that are relevant to manufacturing industry and technologies to really find and filter by your interests. We also have a new profile field for members asking for the primary purpose on Agora, and this is just to flag if you are interested in offering expert services, looking for expert services, or looking for B2B partnerships, or just generally for networking or other reasons, then it's quick as well to know if this person is interested in discussing further. So I encourage you all to go and update your profiles based on these fields as well. Then a big new thing is the organizational profiles. So we are launching today organizational profiles so that you can create not just a member profile, but a profile for your company or university. And again, it works on the same tag system so that you can select the specific sector and the type of organization, which will help to support also the consortium building that you are working on. And you can add further details as well in terms of description, locations. So if you have many locations around Europe, you can add them to showcase your geographical breadth, as well as links to your company website and other relevant places. And all of this is now available in a new member directory and an organizational directory that you can find from the top row on the home page. So I invite you all to go have a look and start connecting. And just to flag that while we are launching it today, there will be more improvements coming. So there will soon also be a location search for organizations and a new instant messaging that will work across Agora as a centralized inbox. So these things are also coming in the coming months. So it will make it even easier to connect and discuss with people. And just to note, I already mentioned, but you can find the member and organizational directories in the top row on the home page. And this is just a quick view of how the member directory looks like. And here, key is that you can now search by keywords or filter by different tags the sectoral and technological interests of members or organizations. So this is something that I hope you will find useful for drilling down on the specific manufacturing topics that you are interested in discussing and connecting on. And as mentioned, there is an instant messaging tool coming soon. But for the moment, if you find someone who's interesting, you can head over to the news sphere or the call for proposal sphere to send a private message, as most people will be in those two spheres. So as I explained for the ideation sphere as well, it works the same way. And now, just encouraging you all to go update your personal profile with the tags, create an organizational profile, or check if someone else has been very quick and already added it, one of your colleagues. And then, start ideation and matchmaking after the matchmaking event on Agora. It will be open always, and the ideation sphere will be open for the whole period. So I really welcome you all there. If you have questions, happy to answer them now or later through Agora as well. And if you are not there yet, please join. And to note, we also do have an app on mobile, so you can connect on the go and browse your ideas as you're commuting, for example. So that's it from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nina. Very much appreciated. And I think you all gave us a very good reason to join Agora right now or go to Agora right now and check out all the new features. So please make use of that. We are a little ahead of time, so we have time for a short coffee break before we continue with our 3 next sessions in today's agenda, the thematic sessions on the topics of renewable energy, industrial metaverse, and circular economy. Each session is taking place on this stage for around 40 minutes. And just to give you an idea of the work that our team has been doing together with our partners and the experts. And in parallel, we also invite you to check the participants list once again here on B2Match and book your meetings if you have not done so yet. I see that there's hundreds of meetings already scheduled. There's several hundred still open or pending. So if you have a meeting invite, make sure to answer it, accept it, or decline it so you can meet the partners from our matchmaking event here. Don't forget about the tech radar. Aris, our colleague, is ready to help you in case you have any questions. Check it out. You will find the link. With that, it's almost time for the thematic sessions. We have a lunch break from 12:30 to 1:30, and afterwards we have 2 more thematic sessions. And you can, of course, use the whole afternoon to use the one-on-one meetings to meet other people here on the platform. So we meet back again here at 11:45 for the first thematic session on the topic of renewable energy. And Johanna Stjernstedt, our Managing Director of EIT Manufacturing North in Gothenburg, Sweden, is going to host this session. From my side, I all wish you now a very successful matchmaking day. Enjoy your meetings, get creative, and I'm going to see you later on. Goodbye. Hello and welcome back for our thematic sessions that we're going to kick off right now. We will start with the first thematic session on renewable energy with Johanna Stjernstedt, who we'll welcome on stage shortly. And then we will go into a 1-hour lunch break that you can, of course, use to matchmake and do your meetings on the event platform. And afterwards, we're going to continue with the second thematic session on the topic of industrial metaverse, which is hosted by Gian Mario Macchio, our Director of EIT Manufacturing South in Italy. And after that, we're gonna do the last thematic session of today. The topic is circular economy, and it's gonna be hosted by Niki Kuzi, which is the Managing Director of EIT Manufacturing Southeast in Athens. And without further ado, I'm now welcoming Johanna Stjernstedt, our Director of EIT Manufacturing North in Gothenburg, Sweden. And she's going to be your host for the first thematic session on renewable energy. And I'm gonna say not many things further. Johanna, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Teresa, and welcome everyone to this session on renewable energy. So, as you know, we recently launched those thematic working groups, and these groups have now really influenced the call for proposals. So we have worked together with our partners on selecting topics for the calls within all the thematic areas, but especially what I'm focusing on right now is the renewable energy. So what we have come up with together with our partners is for the innovation call, energy cost management, and for the education call, renewable energy integration. So we're very happy to get this input from our partners and have this clear influence on the call topic. So today we will talk about different aspects of renewable energy, and especially the importance of data handling for renewable energy. So first of all, we will have a pitch from Anne Lucasero from the startup SmartFab. And later on, we will have an expert on stage. We have Ionut Barbu from BrightCap. First of all, we will have Anne Lucasero on stage. We will also give you the opportunity to answer questions. So that was actually going to be first before the pitch. So I'm asking now the moderator to display here the Mentimeter on the screen. So please take your time now to scan the QR code or go to the Mentimeter and enter the code that is displayed. And you will have, during the pitch and the presentation, you will have time to answer those questions and display it. And when you answer, we can get your feedback and we will discuss it here in this group in just a little while. So please have a look at those questions, and we are now welcoming Anne Lucasero from SmartFab to do a pitch.
Hello, Johanna. Thank you very much. And hello to everyone that is watching this presentation. I am sharing my screen. Let's see if it moves to full mode. There we go. Okay, great. I think you can all see it. Okay, as I mentioned, my name is Anne Lucasero, and I am the CEO and founder of SmartFab. SmartFab is an Italian startup that helps manufacturers understand and act on the data that is hidden, or the insights that are hidden in their data sets. We are working with EIT already, and last year we won a funded proposal which started in January this year called AI Industrial Analytics. We are the business owner and activity leader for that project. And that project includes 4 end users and a research entity. And we will be launching 2 innovations on the market at the end of that project. So to follow up with that opportunity, this year we would like to propose a project which falls under the category of energy management, which is leveraging data for the sustainable future of manufacturing. So let's talk a little bit about the opportunity. As I'm sure you're aware, the manufacturing sector represents more than 25% of the EU energy consumption. And while we'd like to think that the facilities play an important role, and there are lots of opportunities out there to reduce the energy cost in facilities, it actually represents 10% of energy consumption or energy consumed by the manufacturing sector. The remaining 90% of the energy consumption is process related. So we would like to focus our activities clearly on reducing that component. Research suggests that the opportunity to introduce AI skills to reduce process-related manufacturing consumption would lead us to a 20% reduction in that segment of consumption. So what is our proposal? We propose integrating data across silos in the production environment, that is collecting data from the sensors, the meters, from your manufacturing execution systems, ERP and other, to create a holistic view not only of the production process, but of your energy footprint. Then we suggest applying optimization and other AI models that would help us to understand your consumption, get an idea of what the opportunity is for improvement, and then make recommended suggestions. And then clearly the result should be a reduction in energy consumption, but not just a reduction, a verifiable reduction, so that you can, for example, validate the reduction in cost of energy per unit of production. And so what functionality are we proposing in this solution? The first would be to create alerts on every time that you have a spike in energy consumption, so you can understand what is going wrong in your production process and what is causing energy consumption to spike. The second, again, are those optimization tools, which would define your goals, generate the energy recommendations, and then what if analytics to predict the consumption of the proposed changes in manufacturing. Clearly, part of the solution would be real-time monitoring and predictive analytics. But the most important components of this clearly would be the novel components, would be the optimization tools, as well as the what-if analytics. And what outcomes are we looking to achieve? Again, the integrated data to create a digital twin of the manufacturing process, and then utilize human-in-the-loop technology to bring that domain expertise into the model and ensure that the model is fully understanding the manufacturing environment, create real-time AI-based processing across equipment, processes, and production lines, produce audited results, as I suggested, so that you can actually show how much less you're consuming, for example, by per unit of production, and then improve decision-making clearly, which allows you to have greater flexibility. All of this designed to have a lower energy consumption at the end of the project. So what are we looking for in terms of consortium needs? First of all, SmartFab is from IC South, so we would be looking for partners that are outside of South. We are looking to 3 to 4 different end users, each from in different industrial sectors, that will help validate the applicability across industries. We are looking for end users that are in at least 2 different countries, and preferably within 2 different ICs. Again, this demonstrates the applicability across the European market for this type of initiative. We would love to also work with an expert in energy consumption that could help us validate the results, so that the end users can actually show this within their ESG reporting, as well as to other local authorities. We would hope that each of the end users would have a slightly different use case. Every sector, every industry is a little bit different. And so we'd like to generate at least 3, but hopefully 4 use cases. And we'd like to launch 2 different innovations on the market. And how do we think we can do that? We think we can do that by creating an optimization tool on the one side that allows us to quantify and then get recommended actions. And on the other side, launching a what if and predictive tool that is going to allow us to specifically take different types of undertake different types of activity. So this call type was within the focus of innovation. It is in topic 1. It addresses the energy cost management, but it also addresses one of the other topics within, one of the other subtopics within topic 1 is that is the integration of complex systems. So we would be actually killing 2 birds with 1 stone in this project. And finally, if we find users that are within the risk environment, we could actually create this as a AI and digital twin within risk that solves an energy problem. And that would be really killing 3 birds with 1 stone and make this a win-win for everybody, showing that risk countries can also be heavily involved in energy cost management. Johanna, I thank you for inviting me, and I look forward to receiving questions afterwards.
Thank you so much, Anne. Very interesting to hear, like a brilliant use case or solution that you are foreseeing. I guess you have some work still to do in order to realize your ideas here. And do you already have some other partners identified?
Thank you very much for the question. We started having conversations with end users that we've already met in previous occasions over the last few weeks, and many have expressed interest in energy cost management. So it's definitely a theme that we're finding across our conversations. This process is long, and so before you actually form a consortium, it takes many conversations. So the topic is of great interest to manufacturers, I would say, ranging from your area in the Nordics all the way down to the risk countries, and manufacturers in very different sectors. So we're very confident that we will reach the 3 or 4 end users, but there's room for other people to engage in the conversation. We haven't yet spoken to anybody on the consultancy side, and so that's an extra plus that we'd like to bring in to the project.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine that would be very helpful and make the whole product much more robust if you can get the consultancy support in the project. So I wish you good luck in finding the partners. I hope you have posted this idea also on Agora, where it will be spread, and invite everyone who is interested to contact and separately and discuss potential collaboration and participation in this proposal. And good luck with it. Thank you. So we will very shortly move over to our expert talk. Before we do that, I was wondering if we could get the QR code for the questions once more up on display, so that if anyone has joined a bit later, they also have the possibility to join the questions and answer the questions. So a little bit later, we will have a discussion around those questions again. So please scan the code and answer the questions so that we can get your feedback. You're also very welcome to post any question in the chat box, and we will take them up when we have the discussion a bit later. And for now, we will go to Ionut Barbu from Brightcap, who will talk about some more insight in how to use data on with renewable energy. So please, Ionet.
Hi, thanks, Joanna, from a kind introduction. Hi, everyone. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in Europe. My name is Ionuț Barbu. I'm working at Bright Cape. Bright Cape is data consultancy and solutions company based in Eindhoven, the Netherlands. And we will be sharing today with you our perspectives, our findings regarding the energy transition, and in general, and some peculiarities about the renewable energy part of it, and how in the current project we are doing with several partners funded by EIT Manufacturing, how we want to contribute, how we want to bring a little stone to the greater goal. So let me try to share my screen. Hopefully that goes well. Share. So Joanna, can you confirm that that everything went well with the screen sharing? Okay, awesome. Okay, so at Bright Cape, as I said before, we are based in the Netherlands, in Eindhoven, the south of the country. And at Bright Cape, we focus on three domains. Working with clients in the three domains. That's logistics and warehousing, that's banking and finance, and also manufacturing. And lately, more and more of our manufacturing customers are approaching us and asking, "Hey, how can you help us to navigate the energy transition?" Because if we would have a look at the media lately, let's say in the last 2 years, we see that less optimistic scenarios seem to abound in the news regarding the energy transition challenges, the energy crisis that unfold itself in European Union. And we see this across the board. We see that in Germany, we see that in Spain, in the Netherlands, in Italy. So it seems that the European companies, European Union is at the pivotal moment regarding the green energy transition. And this is partly due to rising energy costs, due to geopolitical happenings last few years, and also related and triggered by the reliance on external energy sources, mainly fossil fuels. So all these factors combined pose a significant challenge for EU regarding a successful transition to more and more renewable energy sources. Because if we would have a look at how situation was a few years back, so here we see on the right-hand side of the situation in terms of renewable energy adoption in the EU countries, and also on the which is on the vertical axis in this chart, we see the dependence on energy imports for those countries, and we see that the picture 2 years ago was not very positive. We see that the overall adoption was quite low. We see that the EU was around 20-25% overall average adoption of renewable energies, and with a very significant reliance on energy sources, mainly fossil fuels, from outside the EU economic area. But we have here a couple of champions. We see that here Sweden was at the far end, so it was in the tail in terms of independence on the one hand, and also adoption of renewable energy, mainly wind, plays a very important part in the Sweden energy landscape. And on the one hand, we also have laggards. Unfortunately, Netherlands seems to be, since 2 years ago, seemed to be a laggard when it comes to adoption of renewable sources, and also when it comes to its dependence on external energy from energy sources. And the situation in the last 2 years, so this is analysis from 2 years back carried out by ABN AMRO a large bank in the Netherlands. And the situation in the last 2 years, we didn't find a chart to illustrate that, has improved significantly. So our research shows that the Netherlands was able to move to almost to roughly 40% adoption of renewable energies, and also to reduce its dependence on energy imports. So overall, the picture looks positive in terms of increased energy, in terms of supply of energy sources on the renewable side, and also in reducing energy transition, to reducing the dependence on imports. And this is often with many technical innovations which pose another challenge, and that's the energy grid congestion. What we see here on the right-hand side is a map of the Netherlands, which illustrates the congestion on the energy grid. So on the one hand side, on the left-hand map, which says demand, we're looking at the need of purchasing electricity from companies. In the right picture, we look at on the supply side. So on companies, mainly companies active in the renewable energy, wind and solar, they want to feed energy back, the produced energy, they want to feed that back in the grid. And due to several factors like the insufficient transmission capacity, so there are just not enough cables in the ground or in the air to fulfill the demands of energy supply and energy demand, there is congestion. So that means that companies in the Netherlands have to wait years for getting a new energy grid connection. So our analysis shows that roughly 6,000 companies, especially in these red areas on the map, are waiting already for a long time, years, to get a grid connection. On the same side, on the supply side, we see that roughly 8,000 companies, again, in the red marked areas, that are waiting to feed the energy they produce in a renewable manner, wind and solar, to feed that into the grid. And the situation is even worse in other countries. Our analysis shows that in the United Kingdom, companies can wait up to are on the wait list with a outlook of 13 years until they can get a grid connection that meets their energy demands. So the situation is challenging, and this overall affects the energy transition and puts it at risk on multiple dimensions. So we see that it can be delayed due to insufficient capacity in the transmission lines. Operation and energy costs are increasing due to this reliance of fossil energy sources from imports. Companies are not able to expand, they're not able to start new businesses or to increase their existing operations. And if you look at a higher level, if you look at the society level, it brings risks of energy blackouts for the society at large, not just for companies, but even for private owners, for households. And how does this translate to manufacturing companies? So what we hear from our customers is that, they have several needs when it comes to the energy transition. They want to increase their energy independence. And how do they do that? For example, what we see is that they're interested and already active in installing more and more PV panels. At the same time, they want to reduce the energy cost. And the previous talk, the pitch you have heard from Angelo Cicero, also highlight that this is a European-wide broad need and necessity to look into how can we reduce energy cost with energy management solutions, and overall reduce the impact on the environment. So how can we reduce the environmental footprint? And in the project we're now doing, that started in January this year, where we have several European partners working with us, is we're looking at these three challenges, three needs of the manufacturing sector and how we can help them. So who is part of this, of the Epsilon project, which is the acronym for the European project, where we have a goal to develop an energy optimization solution. So we at Brightcap, we are the business owner, the activity leader, and we're working here with another technology provider entity, that's the University College Dublin. And we have two important industrial end users that provide us the use cases that are a sounding board for our ideas, our innovation ideas. And then, so we have the Chrome Medical from Ireland. We're active in the medical sector. They're manufacturing implants for various joints, especially femoral joints and hip joints. And also we have a major steel producer from Europe, Voestalpine, headquartered in Austria, that provided the use cases to us. On the one hand, we are looking at forecasting of energy production, and the other hand, we're looking at energy scheduling of energy optimization across the manufacturing value chain. So here, a quick high-level view of the digital and analytic solution we aim to develop and bring to the market together with our consortium partners at the end of the project. So here, it's we see here a layered view. So we want to bring together energy data sources from the multiple business functions. We want to bring data from their execution, manufacturing systems, from ERP systems, so both on the operational side and also on the business side. And then this data is going to be fed into several modules, several analytical engines. So we have a module that is going to look into how can I forecast with high accuracy the energy production from renewables. We're focusing on wind, on solar for the time being. We're looking at estimation of energy consumption, and these two modules, forecasting and consumption forecast, are going to feed and help the scheduling engine that is going to look for the optimal balance between the energy supply on the one side and the energy demand on the one side. And we're having the end user, the business end users in mind, be it process operators, control room engineers, or maybe some more decision makers. We have them in our review, so that we also want to develop a visualization layer on top that is going to provide them the right KPIs, the right metrics to control real time and to help them in their decision-making process, and to help them steer the operations in the right way to reduce energy footprint and maximize production. So this was like a short presentation of the challenges we see on the energy crisis unfolding in Europe, what role renewable energy sources plays in that, and how in the Epsilon project, together with our consortium partners, we want to provide a solution to help manufacturing organizations tackle energy-related challenges. So this brings me to the end of my presentation. If there are any questions, we'll be more than glad to take them during the Q&A session.
Thank you so much, Ionat. You're really highlighting some of the really urgent problems with the overloaded grid. So if having local production of renewable energy, then you could solve, like, or take a shortcut and use the if you can produce the energy where it's used then you're sort of independent of the grid a little bit. So there are a lot of things I think to be developed in order to get there, and it's very promising to hear what you are doing in this project, and I really would like to see more examples and more projects that would support this area, since it is a lot of things that we need to do here. So thank you very much for your presentation. Now, if we can see the results from the questions that have been asked. So the first question then was, in what ways does your organization see use of data for renewable energy in manufacturing? So we have analyzing consumption patterns as the top answer, followed by AI optimization. Now, Ionut, would you like to comment on this? How do you see where the data is mostly needed?
So first of all, yeah, it's great to see that many organizations, many companies are already leveraging data in their manufacturing processes with related to renewable energy. So I think this is very similar. This is in line with what we have seen also in with our customers. It's possible, yeah, to keep it. So I think most organizations go for the low-hanging fruit. So they're producing energy, or they're using energy for manufacturing. So leveraging that data for analyzing their consumption and trying to extract meaningful insights, to extract value that can help them optimize their consumption on the one hand. Also, good to see that companies are also looking into how can they leverage advanced technologies like AI for optimization. I would love to hear a bit more here, or to read a bit more about what companies do on the AI optimization, since it's a quite broad topic, and I think it justifies some deep dives here. And I see on the other end of a spectrum a very low usage of data for real-time IoT monitoring, and I think also, especially with you on the fourth industrial revolution, or even the fifth industrial revolution, which is coming, where interconnectivity of data with industrial IoT, which is poised to deliver a lot of value to manufacturing companies. I think there is a lot of potential in doing that and bringing IoT data, sensor data together. There's a lot of potential doing that, and it seems, based on results of this poll, and also based on what we've seen from our customers, is that this is not yet fully adopted, but it's not fully leveraged.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of room to gain here.
Mm-hmm. Anne Lochisero, maybe would you like to comment these results? Perhaps we here see that there is a need for the real-time monitoring. This is what's being currently used.
I definitely agree with Ionut. I think it's quite nice to see that 32% of the recipients, or that the participants, are already utilizing or analyzing their consumption patterns, but we need to go beyond that and see how we can utilize the real-time IoT data to find out why those patterns change over time, what is causing those patterns to occur, how can we see how we might reduce some of that consumption, and then again tying that with the AI optimization. If we're not using the real-time IoT monitoring, we're probably missing quite a bit of low-hanging fruit for the optimization that can be done in that environment. And so we need to think about all of these things together and how we can put them together and then validate at the end, as I was suggesting in my presentation, what the outcome of all of these analyses are on the impact or on the environmental impact. So how can we assess how we're improving that environmental impact?
Yeah, and just reducing energy consumption and increasing the renewable part of the energy production. Of course, that will have an environmental impact, and it's super good to be able to measure it and to show it, and therefore improve or reduce the environmental impact. And I see that there were coming some more answers. That's really great. Next question is select 2 of the initiatives that will be the most meaningful for your organization to engage with regarding renewable energy use in manufacturing. And here we have research collaboration and academic partnerships on the top, followed by knowledge sharing platforms. And perhaps would you like to go first in commenting on this result?
Sure. Our experience has been this year with the EIT funded project that these research collaborations with end users are an amazing opportunity for the end users to learn about their data. One of the things that's been most important in the outcome for our end users in this project has been to gain a better understanding of the data they collect, how it can be used, where the problems are with the data that they collect. So the research collaboration can go well beyond creating just a model that they can use, but to help them prepare to move forward and go beyond the status quo. So I definitely think that the research collaboration should be viewed in this more, let's say, larger sense of it. I also agree that each individual end user, each company can focus a lot on that area, whereas the standardization efforts and the policy contributions play a much smaller role than really understanding what each company can do individually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. And I think we see with the academic partnership and the knowledge sharing platforms that there is a lot of education, upskilling that needs to happen as well in order to prepare for more renewable energy. Jonas, do you want to comment anything on this question?
So I think what I like to add is on the standardization effort. I think this is also this domain is there's still plenty of opportunity to make progress in terms of especially when it comes to data collection on the low level of edge devices. And I think this boils down goes back to the previous question on real-time IoT data monitoring. I remember from a previous EIT manufacturing event more than 1 year ago that many manufacturing companies are struggling with the multitude of data formats out there. Many of the providers of sensoring equipment come with their own protocols of data collection, data generation, data collection. So I think this is a challenge, and I think it's at the same time a great opportunity for organizations like EIT manufacturing to create this awareness and push further. Hey guys, we have to think, how can we standardize this process of data collection in the shop floor so that we can really maximize the value we can get from data? How can we leverage that to the most?
Thank you. I think standardization, that needs to be done together. And the next question, in what aspects of renewable energy implementation in manufacturing does your organization possess expertise or resources? And here we have the energy efficiency optimization, which is like a clear number one. Ionut, would you like to comment on where we currently have the expertise? Does this agree with what you have seen so far?
I think so, yes. So indeed, there are many many organizations that have the knowledge, experience, and knowledge in various optimization product methodologies regarding energy efficiency. And I think also on the technology development side, there is some prevalence of knowledge. I think again, the challenges and the opportunity is out there to use this plethora of optimization methodologies and really apply it to the most efficient way for energy causes, energy resources. And I think again, the project we are doing, the project that Anne wants to set up, and overall the theme from EIT manufacturing, hopefully is going to help this.
We are here addressing the areas of lesser resources, which is what we're aiming to do. Energy efficiency optimization is of course super important, but we can see that there are also a lot of need in these other areas, and I think the overloaded grid is coming up here as well, I think. So next question, if there was another. Yeah, that was the last question, and it's thank you so much everyone who have answered the questions. It was great to have your engagement, and really good to see where it's currently being used and where we have the needs. And again, I'd like to encourage everyone to go to Agora and post your ideas in the sphere for the call for proposals, so that you can link up with others and form a consortium to address these issues, especially the energy cost management in innovation and renewable energy integration within education. So, and thank you so much, Ionut and Anne, for your insights and for working on renewable energy and pushing both the data integration and optimization of the systems for renewable energy. The next session here today will be the industrial metaverse. It will start at 1:30 after the lunch break. So go out and matchmake on the platform, both B2Match and on Agora, and good luck with all of your proposals. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the Matchmaking Event 2024, and in particular, welcome to the thematic session on the industrial metaverse. My name is Gianmario Maggio, and I'm leading EIT Manufacturing South. So in terms of a scope for this session, this is really to build on the inputs of the thematic working group on the industrial metaverse, which has contributed to shape the current call for proposal. And the objective for today is to reflect actually on the key challenges that have emerged, especially from our industrial partners, as well as the corresponding industrial use cases regarding the industrial metaverse, and share ideas as food for thought for further networking, especially matchmaking, with an overall aim to contribute to building successful proposals. So first of all, the term metaverse, it has developed as a buzzword. However, in this context, we will focus on industrial application only. And actually, we also refer to the concept of augmented factory, which is basically the enhancement of the physical factory through its digital representation. And in our vision, we position the industrial metaverse at the intersection of three main transitions, namely the first being the human-centric transition, which is associated with the Industry 5.0. And then we have the digital transition and the green transition, which are also called as the twin transition. So to kick off the session, we will start with a brief survey through the Mentimeter. So I kindly ask my colleagues to put the QR code that you now you should be seeing on the screen. And basically we'll address two main questions with this survey that are also reflecting the outcome of the thematic working group on the industrial metaverse. And the first question is basically, what is the key challenge that you see should be addressed regarding the industrial metaverse? And as you will see, this is the answer will encompass aspects from interoperability and complex physical digital infrastructures, the benefits versus the cost, so the return on investment. Further, the labor shortages, so what new skills are needed to feed this important field. And the fourth will be about promoting human-centered approach. And then we'll have a fifth question on the cybersecurity and data privacy. And likewise, the second question will address basically which industrial use cases you consider more promising, given the current technology maturity and the potential impact. So from immersive training to virtual commissioning, to remote maintenance or repair. So you will have a chance to express your opinion. So please take a moment to answer those questions, so then we can come back later for the discussion. And now I'm really glad to give the floor to our partners who have been putting out some potential ideas for presentation. And I'm glad to welcome our first presenter today, who is Alessandra Melchioni from Chilometro Rosso, which is also representing our core partner, Brembo. So Alessandra, you're very welcome to share your ideas on the project entitled Teaching Smart Manufacturing for the New Metaverse Engineering. So Alessandra, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Gianmario. I'm very glad to be here with you. I'm from Chilometro Rosso, Head of Innovation Services. For people who doesn't know, Chilometro Rosso is a place where business and research meet. The Innovation District acts as in an open paradigm way and act as a technology transport. I will now share with you the screen and the presentation of our idea. Okay, this is the idea we would like to present in this occasion. Cosa?
Just some technical optimization.
There is a delay, sorry, in the audio.
I think the technical support is going to project your slides, Alessandra, from what I understand.
Thank you very much.
So,
okay. Thank you so much. So the challenge we try to address with our project. Okay. The challenge we are addressing with this project idea is the digital transformation in the manufacturing processes. Bigger companies and the supply chain are currently facing this kind of situation in the sense that they need to introduce know-how and skill both to manage and to make innovation in the field of manufacturing. At the same time, talent acquisition and skill mismatch remain a major change that needs to be urgently solved, maybe, for example, by upskilling and reskilling the workforce of the companies. As the market we are targeting now, as was experimented and analyzed by McKinsey report 2023, is the industrial metaverse market. The following analysis estimates that there will be a growth of about $5 trillion by 2030. Project IDEA aims to teach to a new category of engineer in the factory and the industry to make live their equipment in the virtual world using innovative technologies such as virtual and augmented reality to understand the processes and to work together. This is a kind of skills that industrial industry in this moment that wants to become and to manage the metaverse need and demands to have in their company. What we are looking for is training a new metaverse engineering that will be able to use the metaverse and create virtual and collaborative environments where the employee can both learn and work together, even if they are physically distant, and improve the collaboration between themselves and also with the teams that are not in the same plant, but maybe somewhere else in the world. Chilometro Rosso still now has developed the guidelines of a methodology for the human-centric and ethic and safe approach to metaverse and to industrial manufacture. What we would like to achieve with this project is the objective to implement these guidelines, building learning paths, and teach to this new metaverse engineer new skills able to understand and to make innovation, digital innovation in the industry. Moreover, through these guidelines that we have now developed, we are also looking at the acceptance of these new technologies, such as virtual and augmented reality, to teach and to learn in a different way. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alessandra, for this insightful presentation. And of course, I encourage you and all to use our Agora platform. So both the ideation sphere as well as the matchmaking, the tool that has been just implemented to reach out to Alessandra for building a successful proposal. And now I would like to announce the next pitch presentation by Costantina Salagianni from the Teaching Factory Competence Center, and her proposal is entitled Industrial Metaverse and AI Towards Human-Centric Production. So Costantina, the floor is yours.
Hello from my side too. I'm very happy to be here. Teaching Factory Competence Center is a place where innovation, engineering, and training converge. And this is where this proposal idea is based on. The vision is to harness the power of industrial metaverse and artificial intelligence towards human-centric and inclusive production. This idea prioritizes innovation, promoting operators' well-being and safety, which is a top priority for industry. The industrial metaverse solution enhances workstation design and risk assessment, emphasizing ergonomics, well-being, and safety for operators. Leveraging industrial metaverse and AI, operators may execute virtually the production tasks, such as assembly procedure. They can execute them in the virtual industrial environment while physiological data are being recorded in real time. Engineers may evaluate their layout arrangement and also the process, the proposed process to be followed, while they acquire valuable feedback from the task's virtual execution. Engineers may redesign the workplace or the process and can be in this way adaptive to the new challenges and the changes that may occur. Also, ergonomic analysis in the virtual and real environment can be performed in combination with performance metrics, allow the evaluation of the proposed workplace design, ensuring the operator's health remains a top priority. The overall approach includes also a virtual reality based training for the operators, covering maintenance procedures and also some simulations of hazardous environments. Through the generative AI, the workplace and the design procedure can be easily reconfigured, fostering agility and inclusivity. One of the main goals of this proposal is to facilitate the adoption of industrial metaverse and AI technologies to be used in a human-centric design of the production and the workplace, and incorporate them also in the management roadmap. A special focus can be given to supporting stakeholders from the risk countries to enhance their innovation capacity. Further improvements in productivity, quality, and competitiveness can be achieved using the industrial metaverse and AI, addressing the related industrial challenges. Through this proposal, an increase in productivity can be achieved also by facilitating the improvement and standardization of the procedures, the promotion of training as well, which may lead to reduction of operators' response time, reduction of production stops with all this offline preparation, let's say. The overall goal is to shape a safer, more efficient, a workforce attractive and more sustainable in terms of productivity future of industry. Regarding the consortium, the composition includes software providers to customize and deploy the project's elements, and business owner for the exploitation, partners that have already been identified. Although we would like to invite end users to join the consortium and provide the requirements and to validate project results. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Costantina, for this proposal that is also showing how the metaverse, industrial metaverse, can contribute to transform also the workplace in a more human-centric approach, which is also in line with the strategic objective that was presented earlier on this morning by our CEO, Caroline. Thank you again. And now we move to the third pitch for today, that will be featuring our partner VTT with Nikhil Pachandara, and talking about the Meta Operative Platform, which is a platform for AI-assisted robot operations within the metaverse. So let's welcome Nikhil on stage. The floor is yours.
Thank you again. And let me share my presentation. Okay. So yeah, my name is Nikhil, and I'm working here at VTT, which is one of the largest technical research center here in Finland. It has been doing visionary research and innovation for more than close to a century now, and we have been systematically developing fundamental transformations for the industry. And I work as a research team leader for the industrial metaverse unit here at the VTT. And what I'm going to talk about is the Meta operative platform. So this is a platform what we have been developing, and this platform combines the generative AI with the robot and also the metaverse. So it's a platform for AI-assisted robot operations within the metaverse. In a photo, what we are seeing is a human who is trying to assemble a product where the robot is dynamically understanding the context, and it's the robot and the human is conversing each other through conversational AI. And at the same time, we have a digital representation of it in the digital twin. So if the user would want to do this operation remotely, it is also possible to do the whole entire operation remotely. The level of our development currently is at the TRL 5, and we are going to be acting as a technology provider for this particular project. And we see this at the level of maturity at a concept level. The main challenges why we see that this is very important. So one is the limited dynamic interpretation. So usually robots, they are struggling to dynamically interpret and execute instructions, because the instructions are usually designed for humans, and now humans are trying to program this to a robot, which is causing limitation in adaptability, and also it creates a barrier to rapid deployment and flexibility, also causing inefficiency in repurposing of a very generic robot like a feeder arm. So this is something which we are targeting, that we through using generative AI, we can quickly help the robot learn the context and be ready for deployment in the actual use case. Also, if this problem is not solved in complex manufacturing and complex operative environments, there is a necessity for a highly skilled workforce to be present on site, and which increases the operational cost and complexity of the manufacturing and also the operative environment. And with this platform, we are trying to bring this required skilled force, the requirement of having a highly skilled force on site to come to minimal, and also that it is able to be completely operated remotely. Then also it's the integration of emerging technologies like the human, AI, the robot, and the metaverse. So these 4 pieces interacting together is going to offer a very high potential for high productivity enhancement. Also, with this platform, we are targeting that we will be able to scale the robotic workforce while maintaining the efficiency and cost effectiveness. Although it's a challenge right now, but we see this as a growth opportunity for our platform. We have already seen what kind of impact in financial impact industrial metaverse is going to make. And from one of the leading ABI research, it's projected that in 2025 itself, industrial XR and industrial digital twin simulations, they would hit around $22 billion worth of revenues. To be successful in this opportunity, so first thing we are looking for is the business use case development. So if we are able to have a business use case clearly defined and developed, then we know that we would be able to commercialize it much better. And also the technological development side on the integration of generative AI, robots, and metaverse. So this is the goals that we are trying to achieve in this particular opportunity. Right now, we don't have any partners. We have been working on this technology platform on our own, but we are looking for business owners, also the integrators, and the end case and end user who could be our use case partners. We are open to anyone who preferably within European Union that we can partner with. And yeah, this is the call type is innovation call type. This is all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nikhil, for this interesting presentation. And I think it connects well with one of the use cases that are also mentioned in our survey, namely this remote collaboration and monitoring. And with this, I would like to thank you for sharing your ideas. We'll come back to you. But first, I would like to invite our external experts, and namely Kevin O'Donovan, technology evangelist, just back from Hannover Messe, and we consider him as a guru also in the industrial metaverse. So I'm curious to hear from Kevin about his insights about this exciting field. Kevin, please join me, and the floor is yours.
As they say, you are muted, so that's a good start. Good afternoon, Gian Mario, thank you very much. So over the next probably 7 minutes or so, I'd like to share with you, hopefully some food for thought when it comes to the industrial metaverse, and also maybe some provocative ideas. I spent my time looking at the art of the possible when it comes to what we can do with the industrial metaverse, and then trying to map that back into how can we realistically use that with companies, big and small, in order to hit some of the strategic imperatives and some of the challenges that we have right across Europe, right across the world today. In terms of industrial metaverse, I've been doing a lot of work with the likes of Siemens and NVIDIA for the last 3 or 4 years. I'm involved in the VR/AR Association's Industrial Metaverse Committee. So what I want to share with you, as I say, in the next probably 6 minutes, is my take on why we're doing this and where we're headed. Now, as Gian Mario said earlier, you heard the strategic imperatives coming out of EIT manufacturing around this whole call. Within the thematic group of industrial metaverse, they are focused on different innovation challenges. So some of the stuff I'm going to talk about here is kind of the wider context, but again, hopefully it will give you some ideas. You know, in my opinion, the industrial metaverse is here to stay, and there's 4 key drivers. One is the accelerated digitalization of industry. You know, digitalization has been going on for years, and you say, yeah, that's nothing new, but the pace of change and the convergence of technologies, be that compute, Gen AI, comms, sensors, robotics, you name it. I've been in the IT industry for a couple of decades. I have never seen the pace of change that's going on right now. And digitalization is the only game in town if you want to stay relevant, have resilience, and. That's not going away. The second one is that the industrial metaverse is being seen as a strategic imperative. We're here on the EIT manufacturing call. Industrial metaverse is one of the pillars. Countries like Ireland, with the digital manufacturing Ireland, are looking at it. How do I bring back high-tech manufacturing to my country? At Hanover last week, the BDI, German Industry Association, had a specific industrial metaverse summit with some of the biggest players in German industry, talking about why it is a strategic imperative for Germany to maintain what's going on in their industrial world, and not just with the big guys, but also with the Mittelstand, with the small and medium companies. Now, when it comes to the small and medium companies, I believe that where we're going with technology around things like as a service models in the cloud, the ability to, with Gen AI, low code, no code, we're lowering the barrier to entry. So 3 or 4 years ago, if I said you need to create a digital twin that's photorealistic and do all this cool stuff, most small medium companies would go, A, I can't afford it, B, I don't know where to start. And now you see what's being offered as a service, so use what you want. Gen AI is revolutionizing how we're able to code and interact with machines. You've heard from some of the proposals already. So that barrier to entry has dropped. That opens up all sorts of possibilities for everybody. And the last one is the new workforce paradigm. Now, we have a lack of skilled workers. But the other thing I would say is, if you look at our kids, our teenagers, our college students, they live in a spatial world, whether they're playing games, whether they're taking photos, whether they're creating something. And it's not just about creating or playing games. Everybody in Fortnite, Call of Duty, Roblox, in Minecraft, they're creating their own worlds. So that whole spatial way of interacting with things, that's what they're expecting as they come into the workforce. Now, you may or may not agree with me in all this, and obviously I'm active on the Agora Industry Metaverse sphere, so we're not going to be able to answer all questions, but feel free to challenge me on any of this stuff here. Now, in about 2 or 3 minutes, when I look at the industrial metaverse, I kind of go, there's some characteristics. Now, what I mean by that is we have one digital version of the truth. We talk about a digital twin. Well, where we're headed is we're taking multiple digital twins, whether that is the design, the CAD system for building something, the reality scan from LiDAR and drone footage, IoT systems, supply chain, and we're merging everything together in one big, call it digital twin. Now, everyone has a different definition, but you will have a digital representation of the real world almost in real time. It will be 3D, it will be spatial. You'll have the concept of depth. It'll be an immersive experience. Now, I personally do not believe that everything has to be in VR. I could be looking at a 3D immersive experience, collaborating with everybody here on this call. Some people could be on a 2D monitor, like right now. Some people could be using 3D monitors. Some people could be using AR. Some people could be using VR. We will use different types, but the key thing is we're all going back to the one version of the truth. We're all working off the same model. It's persistent. It's all about simulation in the industrial world. Can I run the production line faster? Will my supply chain rely? You know, it's collaborative. And I do believe there's an angle for an economy in here. And what I mean by that is that if I have a digital twin of a wind turbine, why can't I sell or rent or make an economy out of somebody else using my digital twin to do some simulation predictions and then feed that back to me? So I think it's a whole new paradigm. Now, I'm a technology guy and I'm fascinated by the art of the possible. But the technology is the easy bit. We still have to look at all the interoperability. How do we join all these things together? There's a lot of great work being done by standards. I personally believe we need less standards, not more. That's all in work. The complexity hasn't gone away. We still need domain experts to be able to go off and build large language models and create photorealistic digital twins and render things in the cloud and. But that doesn't mean that everybody working in industry has to know all that stuff. And that's where Gen AI, low code, no code comes in. Cybersecurity has not gone away. The more digital we go, the more opportunities for the good guys and the bad guys to do interesting things. Privacy. And the other thing I'd call out is that there's a new technical architecture. And what I mean by that is not everything we're doing in the industrial metaverse is going to that big, huge cloud in the sky, things like NVIDIA Omniverse. More and more companies are talking about, we're going to have small language models. The data from my production line will be running in my factory beside the production line. I will bring the model to the data, not send the data to the cloud. And that has a whole new technical architecture. And if you think of, look at the roadmaps from the likes of AMD, Intel, NVIDIA, there's a lot more compute power coming out to the edge. And that's the reason why. But I suppose one of the key thematic things here is that, well, how do us humans play with this? If technology is that easy, sure, we're all done. We talk about openness. I want to open up everything. Everybody has to share data, breaking down silos, not only in one company, but across companies. I need to give up some control. And as people that know me, you know, the technology is the easy bit. It's when it comes to human nature, how do we accept the technology? How do we deal with change? Because this is digitalization on steroids. Now that's the challenge. And that's why one of the thematic things here is the human aspect of all this. So whether you agree with me or not, that's kind of a snapshot. Now, normally I would talk for days on some of this stuff, but we're just starting out here. And for anybody who thinks the industrial metaverse is going to go away, my personal opinion, it's not going to go away. It's the only game in town. That's it. Gian Mario, back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kevin, for this comprehensive overview. That really shows also an exciting outlook. And maybe let's now revisit what are the survey results from our participants today through the Mentimeter. Let's see where we stand in terms of challenges stemming from our industrial partners. So please take a look at it, because then we can comment. So I can see that there is a clear winner in terms of challenges. So a lot of attention on the human centricity approach, followed by interoperability and how to integrate the system into existing production lines. And third, for example, what is the ROI? So the return on investment, what kind of benefits I get out of investments. Very, very interesting, and for some also food for thought for further discussion. Let's now see the other question that was referring to the use cases. And let's see what people, our participants today, consider more promising in terms of impact, in terms of technology maturity. So I can see a lot of votes for immersive training, followed by virtual commissioning, therefore basically experimenting digital before deploying into physical infrastructure. And then we have a tie between collaborative product design and real-time and remote monitoring. So thanks to my colleagues for sharing, and thanks to all the participants for expressing your views. And now we would like to open the discussion, asking any reactions to, I would ask first to Kevin to comment on that. And in the meanwhile, if you also for our participants, if you want to post any comments, any questions, depending on time, we may address, but in any case, we'd like to also get your feedback. But let's give the floor first to Kevin for a first reaction. Is there anything unexpected there? And does it also align with what you saw in Germany at Hannover Messe as an example?
So just quickly reviewing the results, I think it's very typical and very realistic in terms of like the human centricity. You know, as cool as the technology is, will I accept it? Will the workers, how will it benefit my day job? The other thing is as cool as the technology is, the business folks will go, well, what's the ROI? If I spend 50, 100 grand implementing this stuff and I save 10 grand, you know, what was the point? So I think all of those replies were very interesting. And the same in terms of immersive training and skills development, virtual commissioning, that's a thing. It came in through COVID. I don't need to fly somewhere. I can do all this stuff virtually. But I think the one thing we need to keep in mind is that I believe what we're doing with Gen AI, with the digital twins coming together, we're going to leapfrog a lot of the things that were causing us hassle in the past. And what I mean by that is, look at training. It is proven that if you do AR, VR training, better retention rates, lower time, and. Now you still need to get, if you need a certification, is it allowed? But we're working through that. But to cut a long story short, what often happened in the past was someone took a snapshot of their environment, their production, created a virtual training. By the time the training was run out, it was old because the real world had changed. If we get to the stage where you have that one digital version of the truth, when you hit return on Monday morning to create your virtual training in whatever medium, it was what the shop floor looked like on Friday. That's a game changer. Changes the time to market, changes the cost. Same with virtual commissioning. And I think Gen AI will play a lot of roles in there. So that, as I say, same problems, but I think we're changing the way we deal with them with some of the new technologies.
Thank you, Kevin, for sharing your thought. And I agree also generative AI is accelerating some of these processes. So there is also some synergy across thematic working groups. And now I would like to give the floor to Alessandra Melchioni for any reactions, also based on your initial thought regarding your proposal. So your feedback is welcome, Alessandra.
I really thank you for this opportunity to have a comparison with other projects, and I really thank you, Kevin, because it's so clear. The slide and the discussion is perfectly clear, and I think that this final slide, in which the immersive training and skill development has about 40% of acceptance, should be interesting to go on with our idea. I think so.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for your feedback. Indeed, it's sustaining the direction that you are illustrating with your proposal as well. And now we'd like to give the floor to Costantina to reflect on these results and see how they correlate also with your initial ideas and with your proposal. Costantina.
Actually, the results seem to be quite close to what we target, what we focus. So human centricity indeed is one of the most important factors, let's say, to transform the industrial environment. So I may agree with all the previous words. So, and indeed, the user acceptance is one of the top challenges to address in this part. So this is from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Constantina, for your reflections. And now I would like to pass the floor to Nikhil to see was there anything surprising, and what is your perspective on the results of the survey with our participants and partners.
Yeah, I think this particular, I'm not shocked. I expected this kind of statistics to show up. So this immersive training. So if you look at this from two sides, and Kevin actually slightly touched on this. So one is the workforce, which is already in there. So they would want to be able to participate in this kind of digital twin environment. But the new workforce, which is coming in, they are all coming in from gaming perspective. So they are more they're already trained how to actually handle those joysticks and Playstone controllers, or controllers for those robots, which actually would be then you would be operating in a twin environment, but actually it would be happening in the real world. So I think both perspectives of training are captured, I think, in that survey, and both are needed. So one is on the how the environment is, then who is going to operate on this particular industrial metaverse, because it's not going to be easy to operate robots, for example, in our case, sitting without, where you don't have the feel. And then also on this virtual commissioning. So I think at the end, metaverse is that you would want to be able to try out things before making them into their physical form. So you would be able to also optimize your manufacturing line, operating environment, how the things would be, and you can even simulate the whole gameplay before you actually bring the pieces in. And also to be able to, I think one thing which I didn't touch upon in my presentation was, so the way we see it is also if in factories you will have full 24-hour shifts running. So, and this is also creating challenges for work-life balance. But if I have a digital twin environment, my factory could be set up in a location, let's say in European Union. I can have a normal working hours for a person working in the European time zone, and he operates it and then passes on to another person who could be in another time zone. Still work. So I think that's I see a very important perspective where we are working on this operative platform, that you can have a full 24-hour shifts at a normal working hour time. So you don't need to have people doing 24 hours in the same time zone. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. I agree. Thank you very much for sharing your insights. It's time to wrap up. So I really would like to thank our distinguished speakers today, all the participants for your active participation and contribution through the survey, and my colleagues, of course, to supporting the backstage all this wonderful event. So thank you very much. And now I would like to introduce the next session, which is focusing on the thematic working session, on the circular economy, which will be led by my colleague, Nikki Cosi. Thank you so much, and good luck also for your proposals. Bye-bye now.
Okay, so welcome everyone to the Circular Economy thematic session of IIT Manufacturing Matchmaking Event. I'm Nikki Kusi, Managing Director of IIT Manufacturing Southeast. And let me say good afternoon to everybody from sunny Athens in Greece, also on behalf of the entire Southeast team. So it's actually a great pleasure to have you all here today as we delve into one of the pressing points of shaping the future of manufacturing, that of the circular economy. In recent years, the concept of circular economy has gained significant traction as a sustainable alternative to the traditional linear model of production and consumption. So at its core, the circular economy aims to decouple economic growth from resource depletion and environmental degradation by promoting the principles of waste reduction, resource efficiency, and closed-loop systems, all of these packaged in new business models. So this challenge of circularity came as an input from our partners, and this was also the driver for creating the circular economy thematic working group. I'm happy to share that we kicked off this thematic working group in December 2023, and from then until now, we had a series of iterations with our partners, identifying their challenges and requirements around the topic of circularity. The focus of the discussion was around both the technology and the skill gaps arising from the industrial challenges, and the outcome of this discussion allowed us to feed our open call with two topics. First topic was the one of the resilience and resource adaptability, focusing in fortifying supply chains resilience and also developing local sourcing strategies. And the second topic that you will find in our open call thematics is the implementing circularity in manufacturing, in the sense of enhancing the recycling of materials, upgrading the life cycle assessment tools, and so forth. So what do we have for you today in this session following this introduction? Following the structure of renewable energy and industrial metaverse sessions as well, in this session, we want to trigger your inspiration around the topic of circular economy and the opportunities that are emerging when implementing circularity in manufacturing. How will we do that? We will start from an icebreaker to get a bit warmed up using a Mentimeter. And at this point, I'm kindly inviting my colleagues to share this in the screen. So by using the QR code you see on the screen, you will be able to see 3 questions that we drafted based on the discussion of the thematic working group. And it would be great actually to see your answers to those questions and give us some hints from your perspective on critical points around circularity. So you will be able to see 3 questions. First one related to the specific skills that are essential for circular manufacturing. Second one, how can manufacturers design products for easier disassembly and recycling? And third one, how we can actually incentivize manufacturers to adopt circular practices. So these questions will be open to the entire session, and we will be able to get back to them at the end and discuss. And then what will happen next is that I'm excited to have in our online stage 3 distinguished speakers coming from industry as well as research and innovation, pitching their proposal ideas for our open calls. And finally, to welcome in the stage an expert to share his insights and perspectives on the topic. So with no further ado, we can start with the pitches, and I'm glad to invite on stage Dr. Josephine Müller, the Circular Economy Lead in voestalpine, High Performance Metals Manufacturer in Austria. So Josephine, it's our pleasure to have you on board to share your insights from the industry perspective and also to hear your ideas. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I will share my screen for the presentation pitch. In presentation mode. I hope you can see it now. The topic I want to present is called, or I called it sustainability and at the shop floor. And maybe a short to me, I'm leading the team for circular economy at voestalpine High Performance Metals. We are the special steel provider for the voestalpine group. Very shortly, only one slide to show that we working on the kind of special steels. We produce steels that really have special, are for special equipments. And this is why we are highly dependent on different alloy elements. You can see it here. We are dependent not only on chromium and nickel, like it's maybe for other steel producers, but also on cobalt, molybdenum, vanadium, and tungsten. And this is why we also have all these important alloy elements in all our wastes, like dusts, like scales, and grinding wastes, and so on. And we want to make sure that these valuable wastes are not lost. That's why we're working on the topics of recycling of these byproducts. But one important point is also that the shop floor workers that work with these wastes every day are aware that these wastes are actually really valuable. And so this is why we want to achieve that everybody in the company, of course, knows about this value of the wastes and also about the economic benefits of recycling and supply security. But in this case, we want to have especially a training for shop floor workers, which is more of a challenge, like maybe other trainings, because as you know, shop floor workers mostly don't have access to computers, to online trainings, but they also are more like hands-on learning by doing. And this is why we want to have the special trainings for the shop floor workers. And one goal is that we want to create a defined numbers of experts on the shop floor that can work as multipliers to really get this sustainability awareness on the on the shop floor. And we are searching at the moment for partners that can develop the trainings, of course. Then, of course, more use cases. We are working for special steels. Maybe there are other use cases in other metal industries or maybe similar ideas. And one hint is also that we are in Austria. That's why we're searching, of course, for partners that are not in the CLC Central. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Okay, thank you very much, Josephine, for bringing on board this very interesting idea. It's also very goodly linked with the education part and the skilling and the skill gaps we need to fill in around circularity. So it fits very well. Thanks a lot for sharing, and good luck with finding the partners. I would like to invite also the people from the audience to pose in the chat any question or any comment on this idea. And of course, welcome everyone to contact Josephine in the B2B slots as well for taking further the discussion. Thank you very much. Okay, and now we can move on to the next pitch coming from Ms. Vicky Panagiotopoulou, Senior Researcher in LMS, standing for the Laboratory for Manufacturing Systems and Automation. So Vicky, happy to have you on board and looking forward to hear your view. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Nikki. Happy to be at the EIT matchmaking event, and I will share my screen now. So hopefully it's visible to everyone. So actually, at this moment, our team is focusing a lot on circular economy, and we have two actually pitches that we would like to discuss with you. The first one is on the education part, and the challenges are mainly about circularity, limited resources, and how to make sure that all the shareholders know about the different aspects of circularity. And we have developed a learning module at this moment, and we would like to expand it. So that's one of our pitches for today. Actually, we are leading this together with some other educational institutes. And another topic also that we're also involved is how to make additive manufacturing more circular, and that's on the innovation side of things. So we have developed over the last few years a framework on how to determine whether additive manufacturing can be used to produce some products based on some manufacturability criteria. But we would also like to enhance that, but adding also some circular economy criteria, just to make sure that additive manufacturing is also circular, not just a novel technology. So what we are looking right now is for partners for both. Actually, since we are an educational institution, we are also looking for a business owner for our idea, and also an instructional designer for the educational part. And as Josephine mentioned, we are based in one country, Greece, so we're looking for someone just outside Greece, just to make sure that we tick also that eligibility point for the proposal. So I don't know if there are any questions on the chat that I should be answered, or I should wait for the end. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Vicky. Very interesting what you brought here today. Two points, one for education and one for innovation. Once again, I'm inviting everyone in the audience to add questions on the chat for Vicky as well, or contact her as well directly in the B2B. I see also in the education side, again, the circularity awareness as a topic. It seems on the circular economy side, one thing are the technical skills, but I see also the managerial skills on identifying opportunities and making decisions around circularity to gain a lot of traction. Thank you very much, Vicky, about it. And then we will move forward to the last pitch for today, coming from Ms. Raluca Lucat, project manager in Iceberg Plus from Romania. So Raluca, welcome on stage. We would be happy to hear your input, also having the risk perspective as well on the topic. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Nikki. Thank you for the invitation and for this opportunity to pitch one of our ideas. I will share my screen right now. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. So just a few words about myself and about our company. I'm Raluca Lucat. I'm a project manager in Iceberg Plus, and as well the coordinator of the IT Manufacturing Risk Hub in Romania. So we are a company, innovation, consulting, technology transfer and access to finance services in Romania, with an European ambition and a regional footprint. So we are actually working with startups and SMEs, public organizations, and international organizations and large companies as well. So the name of our potential proposal is ACG Integrator. The challenge we have identified is that the challenge today is in implementing ESG practices in the small and medium enterprises in Europe. So this includes ensuring that businesses of smaller scale adopt sustainable and responsible practices that consider environmental impact, social welfare, and governance standards. So in the future, this challenge is likely to grow due to several factors. One is the global awareness and regulation. As global awareness of environmental and social issues increases, there will be more likely more pressure on the SMEs to adopt ESG practices. As well, supply chain expectations. Larger corporations are increasingly demanding that their suppliers adhere to ESG standards, and as SMEs form a significant part of the many supply chains, they will face pressure to implement these kind of practices in order, of course, to maintain or secure the contracts with these large companies. What is the quantify opportunity on a higher level? So we are talking right now about access to finance because, as you mentioned, Nikki, these institutions are incorporating ESG criteria into their lending and investment decisions. Second one, consumer preferences. So consumers are becoming more conscious of the environmental and social impact of their purchasing decisions. Third, technology and innovation. We are seeing advancements in technology that are making sustainable practices much more accessible and affordable for SMEs. And for the fourth one is the policy making. To move forward, what are the goals of this potential proposal? So over the years, we have been identifying from our position of working with European digital innovation hubs and as well with a lot of SMEs and scale-ups and startups and large companies, we have been observing a low level of adoption of practices for resource efficiency, waste reduction, and circular flow of materials. So we know that there is this law on sustainable reporting, and this law has been transported into Romanian law as well. So this makes the large companies, the law makes the large companies to adopt this reporting, ESG reporting. So not only the large companies will be made to report, but also the SMEs starting from 2025 and 2026. So taking this into consideration, we aim to this project to educate SMEs and of course to support them to adopt ESG technologies and practices. And of course this will help them with the reporting required by the law. Main activities of this proposal are the following: map the existing situation at the European level and to develop a catalog of technology provider and ESG solutions, development of best practices report, including a legislative section, and develop an action plan on the next steps at European level. You mentioned that this will be on the risk. Yes, this can be, we can apply on the risk as well, but on the education topic as well. We don't have the partners yet. We didn't identify them, but we are looking, of course, into universities, companies, and organizations that are linked with small and medium-sized enterprises, and of course, teaching and learning factories. Of course, and we are seeking partners outside Romania, Greece, of course, but not only. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to the questions, and I'm at your disposal for continuing the discussions on this topic.
Okay, thanks a lot, Raluca. Also from our side, what you mentioned, it's indeed the critical point, the regulatory framework around circularity and the legislation that needs to be, the companies need to be complied with. It's getting challenging, it's true. So having supporters in this process could be of great value for the manufacturing companies. So once again, I'm inviting everyone to pose any questions on the chat and also directly contact Raluca in the B2B sessions to exploit further opportunities around this proposal idea. Okay, before going to introducing our expert, I would like to ask kindly our technical team to bring the Mentimeter QR code again on the slide, just to give the opportunity to answer, not yet the results, but rather than the QR code to give another opportunity for the audience to access it. Thanks a lot. And now, with no further ado, I would like to invite our expert, Mr. Harri Nieminen, expert on building industry-driven renewal enablers in VTT, the Technical Research Center of Finland. Having a strong industry background, Harri has been fostering the collaboration between research and industry within the context of his activities. To have him on stage to share his perspectives and insights around the topics of circularity. So Harri, welcome.
Thank you very much, Nikki. Nice to be here.
Great, happy to have you here, and I directly giving you the floor to share some insights from your side on the topic of circularity.
Yeah, so Harri Nieminen, as Nikki mentioned, from PTT, Technical Research Center of Finland. Personally, I do not have background in research. My background is actually in industry. So 24 years in different research and innovation development positions, managerial positions in industry. And currently I'm, as mentioned, fostering collaboration between industry and research, and running Sustainable Industry X initiative here in Finland. It's kind of a toolbox for our industry renewal, containing also circularity related tools.
Okay, perfect, Harri. Thank you very much. What I think it would be quite interesting would be to bring on the screen the questions already answered by the audience, and discuss directly on those questions your perspective. So starting from the first one, what specific skills are essential for circular manufacturing? And we see that we have a winner under the topic of understanding circular supply chain dynamics. And then we have the second mostly voted topic of knowledge of sustainable materials and design. Then we have a tie between problem-solving abilities to address circular challenges and expertise in waste reduction techniques. And then we have the digital literacy for tracking product life cycles following. So I would like to invite Harri to share with us, how do you see this input coming from the audience? Is it something that you have been seen as well in your experience coming from industry?
Yeah, it's very interesting to see the answers, and all in all, numerous different skills and skill combinations are needed for sure. And it is good for us to remember that needs change rapidly with time and development. That is the nature of skill development. So circular manufacturing as such, it involves designing, manufacturing, and distributing products with minimal waste and maximum resource efficiency. And from this perspective, personally, I would like to highlight the following necessary skills in particular. First one, this material science and resource management. So basically, understanding existing and novel materials and their properties to optimize durability reusability and recyclability of the product. We should also understand how to efficiently use these materials and other resources to minimize waste in different forms. The second one, it's point I have, it's related to product design. So creating products according our cycle principles. I mean, basically repair, repurpose, remanufacturing, and recycling. In here, it's also vital to consider innovation in wider context, meaning basically developing those needed new technologies, but also business models to support circular manufacturing practices. Then, of course, manufacturing as such. So basically developing and adopting those new manufacturing processes and technologies to advance circular manufacturing principles in manufacturing companies. And in relation, I would like to highlight the role of networks. Manufacturing, it takes place always in some level of networks. That's the fact. So how to efficiently manage the flow of materials, components, and products through the circular process. And there is also one new element in here we should keep in mind. Element I would like to call reverse logistics. So basically how to develop needed systems for collecting, repurposing, and remanufacturing used products and materials. Also, data, AI, those are discussed very widely today, and different data analytics and lifecycle assessment skills and capabilities are needed. Utilizing data to optimize manufacturing by utilizing collected green data and enabling also in that way more clever resource use. This includes also analyzing the environmental impact of manufacturing of products from raw material extraction to end of life. And like mentioned in here, also understanding regulatory framework related to circularity, it's the key thing. And in here, we shouldn't be able just to fulfill those requirements of regulation, but also understand new opportunities enabled by regulation. There are huge amounts of opportunities as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Harry, for this input. Then I think we can move to the next question, the second question, focusing more on how can manufacturers design products for easier disassembly and recycling. And then we see actually a clear winner under the topic of considering end-of-life scenarios during product design. So considering everything up front before concluding to the product design part. Then we have a tie coming from the use of modular components that can be easily separated, again, for the product design. And second part of avoiding complex material combinations. Then we see the labeling recyclable parts clearly as a following point. And then finally, the collaboration with recycling experts to optimize material recovery. What do you think, Harry, on that part? How we can strengthen the disassembly and recycling?
There are many tools and procedures for this, and seeing the results, I would like to combine those a bit. As a kind of key, it's also a bit fancy enabler. I'd like to start with product identity and utilization of lifecycle data. I strongly believe that in the future, each product to be manufactured has a digital identity. This identity, it's kind of a social ID of the product, is connected to as built and also as used data of the product. And this kind of a capability enables totally new, also unseen value creation. And it's also a strong enabler for new level of circularity in manufacturing, but also in product context. Materials play also an even more significant role in the future. And as a basic starting point, choosing non-mixed materials that are sustainable as such and are cycle proof is good. And today it means primarily metals. These are most supportive when it comes to our cycles, but as well certain types of plastics with clear identification codes. So basically, it's related to labeling somehow. And from product design perspective, I see modular design as a very good tool for circularity. Products should be easy to break down into easily separable modules and components without damaging other parts of the product. And from manufacturing, basically assembly point of view, it's good to prepare a common standard fastening elements instead of adhesives and welded joints. Those are more difficult to disassemble. Those glues and adhesives, I know that in many cases, those are attractive for manufacturing automation perspective. But from circularity perspective, those should be avoided as they make disassembly more difficult. And they also decrease, in many cases, material recyclability. And in design phase, already in design phase, we should also strongly consider repairability and upgradability of the product, as those are extending product life. We should also consider potential repurposing and remanufacturing. And from recycling perspective, it is also vital to collaborate with recyclers right from the start in order to understand capabilities and requirements of recycling process at the very end of product life cycle.
Okay, very interesting, Harry. Thank you very much. I think we can close the loop with the final question again that was given to the audience. And this one was focusing on how we can incentivize manufacturers to adopt circular practices. Things are a bit more balanced in the answers of this question, but still we have a winner that is focusing on recognizing and rewarding companies with circular certifications. Then we see a tie between the establishing industry standards for circular manufacturing and educating stakeholders about the long-term benefits of circular approaches. Then we have encouraging collaboration between manufacturers and research institutes. And then at the end, we have the offering tax breaks for companies implementing circular strategies. What is your view in this one, Harry, and how you react on those inputs coming from the audience?
In a way, lots of winners, and also in this context, I would like to paint a big picture also in here. There are multiple elements as well as stakeholders. And in a big picture, manufacturing companies, other businesses in value chain, consumers and also policymakers can create a conducive environment for manufacturers to embrace circular practices and also transition towards more sustainable future we would like to have. And for make this happen, as we can see, different tools are needed. Attractive ones, including new opportunities, as well as tools which are more forcing in nature. And in forcing side, regulatory measures are a kind of an obvious way we know, and in their developing and implementing regulations that promote circularity. Regulations like eco-design directives, sustainability reporting standards over the value chain, green claims directive, those are effective tools. And there are also plenty of developments like these going on in EU, as we know. Besides regulation, there could be also different types of certification programs so that we can better recognize and promote products which are manufactured using circular principles. This comes to consumer side as well. But as we know, regulations are not the only way. And personally, I would like to emphasize tools that create more opportunities. And one point I would like to mention in here is enabling new value by the means of manufacturing. So basically, manufacturing companies should be more interested about this topic. Product to be manufactured, it enables value for end customer, buying customer, and also for manufacturing company. And for this reason, we shouldn't look and develop manufacturing as separate function, but looking through kind of a product lens. Future manufacturing, it enables totally new value related to product to be manufactured. Different new features, functionalities, services, circular economic perspectives. At its best, it doesn't significantly limit features of the product or service. Those can be realized according customer and circularity needs. And circular economy as such, it also brings a direct competitive advantage for the manufacturing companies, and we should make those more visible. For example, manufacturing can be optimized by green data from many different perspectives. From customer side, fostering awareness and creating customer demand is one way. So in different ways, educating consumers about the benefits of circular products and empowering them to make purchasing decisions accordingly. So when we are increasing demand for sustainable product, it will incentivize manufacturers to adopt those circular practices for sure. Financial incentives are also mentioned. Those are always attractive. So offering incentives such as tax breaks, subsidies, low interest loans for companies that adopt those practices or invest in sustainable technologies is one way. And last but not least, I would like to mention topic why we are in here today, what we are discussing here today. A collaboration combined with proper research and development funding. We should, in different ways, foster and facilitate collaboration between manufacturers, their suppliers, and also other stakeholders to develop and implement different needed circular solutions collectively. Investing in research and development of needed innovative technologies and processes that enable circularity should be more interesting from business perspective, and that is something we should keep in mind. And in order to set these investments in motion, also suitable funding opportunities are also needed in very practical level.
Thank you very much, Harry, for this detailed input on this. Fully agree also on the last point, and we are happy to address this point in circularity in our open call, both in innovation from the perspective of creating new products that will address circularity needs, but also in education from the perspective of educating manufacturing industry, but also possibly consumers and technology developers around the needs of circularity. And in this point, I would like to really thank our speakers, starting from our three speakers that gave a pitch, Josephine, Vicky, and Raluca. Thanks a lot for sharing these exciting projects. And again, I'm inviting everyone interested to contact them to move further. And also, Harry, thanks a lot for sharing your perspective around the topic. I think it's now this was the final thematic session for today, so we are happy to close the loop through our session. I'm inviting you to don't miss the opportunity to matchmake both in Agora and in B2Match. These tools are aiming actually to act as a platform for collaboration, networking, and co-creation of projects ideas. So we hope you will enjoy the rest of the day and the B2B slots. Good luck, everyone, with the proposals, and thanks a lot to the audience for engaging and providing their input as well. Thank you very much, and have a nice afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that, we will now close the first day of our matchmaking event. A big thank you goes out to Johanna, Gianmario, and Nikki for hosting our thematic sessions on renewable energy, industrial metaverse, and circular economy. For everybody that's still with us, please use the rest of the day to matchmake, to arrange meetings with the other participants, check out our sphere on Agora, and also check your messages if you have any open or pending meeting requests. And if not, please feel free to schedule the meetings and enjoy the time and getting creative. We will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. in the morning. For the second day of our matchmaking event, you will get some more insights on how to submit the proposals, to use the tools correctly, and you will have another day of matchmaking and meetings ahead of you. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.